welcome to Nexus Gaming Series. I am Majesty. I picked up this class last second because the original, sorry, got a message. The original caster ended up being delayed, so I ended up picking this up last second. So I am doing this. We have the Division B Grand Finals, which is super exciting. And we have heavy hitters from, I believe, west, and Durotan's couch is east. I might have that backwards, but I'm pretty sure that's it. But we are welcome to Nexus Gaming Series. Sorry, got that. Sorry, a little scatterbrained. I picked this up like literally less than 10 minutes ago. No, let's just heavy hitters versus Durotan's couch, Division B Grand Finals. Patience is not co-casting. Other things came up in his real life. So anyways, Durotan's couch won the coin flip and opted to have first pick. And then the map bans Heavy Hitters banned Battlefield of Eternity and Sky Temple. And then Durotan's couch banned Tomb and Towers of Doom. And then we're going to Infernal Shrines as the first map. In fact, I actually do have a co-caster. Let me go ahead and call them real quick. And I will tell you that their name is the one and only Infofox. Say hello, Infofox.
Oh, am I live?
Yes.
Hi. Hello. Still, Discord call noise? Scariest noise in the history of all noises.
Alright, we are going to Infernal Shrines. You join the lobby so you can see that. Why don't you tell us what it is that you are looking for when you draft on Infernal Shrines?
So generally what I think both Durotan's couch will do as well as what I would do, because I've worked with them quite a bit the past 2-3 weeks now, is looking into a very strong shrine control where you just box the enemy team out of it. It's things that are hard to push through, like Blaze, Johanna as your front line. And then just following it up with something as simple as a Zag that just creates a lot of pressure, Junkrat even, or just all very basic things.
There's other unique hero picks that sometimes come out on this map. Sonya sometimes shows high priority for her ability to solo clear. Kerrigan is an option as well for the same thing, just coming in, queuing down the wave while the rest of your team just zones. You could go for what's the Kaiju? That was the word I was looking for. The Kaiju comp. Get your Deathwing, your Alexstrasza, your Archon Tastar, your Ragnaros, and just go for total shrine control. There's a lot of things. I do think that this is my least favorite map because I find it extremely boring because the macro is very predictable in a lot of senses. There's a little change up here and there, but for the most part, it's very much you could cast the first 5 minutes of Infernal Shrines with barely looking at the game.
Yeah, unfortunately that is true, unless, like you said, we get one of those faster comps that has the Kerrigan, because you'll see a lot more action going on, a lot more chase and kill potential. Now, with it being Durotan's couch, obviously they have a fantastic Maiev player in Ace. So if they do get that, I'm sure we'll see a lot of that early action, a lot of those early dives and kill potential picks, both in the off lane and in the 4-man.
So I pulled up heavy hitter stats to see what I can find. I see that they play Cho'Gall, they play Deathwing, they play Probius. That could be exciting. They also have a Maiev. They've played Zarya 5 times, which could be interesting to see come out. A lot of Garrosh priority as well. They really like their Brightwing, their Junkrat, and their Artanis are their top 3 most played, all 3 of which could easily come out on this map. It's very exciting. Let's see if I can quickly find a recent Infernal Shrines game from them. The last time they were on this map, they ran Junkrat, Garrosh, Rhaegar, Vala, and Zarya. That's a really solid comp. What do you feel about that comp?
So obviously it's got the Garrosh Zarya. They do love that combination of heroes. Now with Eight Monkey being here, if I'm remembering correctly from what I was looking at yesterday, he his go-to are like Artanis and Gazlowe. When they go into Cho'Gall, they like to take the Gazlowe with it. So if they're thinking of going Cho'Gall here, and the Garrosh and because the Garrosh gets banned out, we might see the Gazlowe over the Artanis. Otherwise, there is a high chance of that. They just play very aggressive comps. So that's something that Durotan's Couch needs to watch out for. If they can play defensive through it and just kind of survive, they'll do pretty well. But obviously, that's easier said than done.
uh, if you know you're going up against a very aggressive team like that, do you tend to find yourself drafting to smash face and also go aggressive and like see who can go in deep, or do you try to build more defensively?
I think that's very situational. There's definitely that bloodlust where it's like we can do it better. That every team wants to show off with. But obviously, that's not always the right play. Sometimes you do have to just play it slower. You're like, okay, this is what they're good at, and they do it more often than we do, so we should play safer. Like I said, it really just depends on how everybody feels that night, how it's all going, because sometimes the bloodlust is too much, you know?
It really can be. It really can be. So I kind of softly kept track of stats during the Division A in-houses a couple, like 2 seasons ago, and in that, there were only 2 people that ended up with a positive win rate when they would play TLV in it, and Ektar is one of those. Do you think there's any chance we'll see Ektar pulling out any kind of TLV? I don't want to call it strats tonight. We'll call it strats.
Do you want the fun answer or the real answer to this one? The fun answer is absolutely. They're gonna meme it up. They're gonna Cho'Gall Vikings, Nova comp this. Real answer is no. We're not gonna see it. They just don't. Not that they can't cover the pool, but Ektar's healing is he's a fantastic healer, and it's definitely a detriment to them to risk giving that up because nobody else has that same comfort that he does, and they would be doing quite a bit of role swapping in order to make it work.
Fair enough. Both teams have finally gotten into the lobby, so we should be starting momentarily. For all those who are sitting on the edge of their seat for this exciting game, I'm excited for it. I hope you're excited. I thought I was going to be watching it, now I'm casting, so that's very exciting. I also have food on the way, so at some point, I'll wait till we're between games, but I'll have to go grab that. Or maybe I can go get it before we start, because you could easily do the
Yeah, I could.
draft, which will give me something to drink. But yeah, I don't know if you heard the map bans, but I guess I can give you that information.
No, I didn't. I didn't pull the stream up yet. I was. Oh,
Let
it's not even on
me
here.
pull this back up. The map bans were Battlefield of Eternity and Sky Temple from Heavy Hitters, and Couch banned Tomb and Towers of Doom. So, a lot of large maps out. Not There's like Ultrek and Curse Hollow, I think, are the only 2 large maps left. But also the smallest map in Tomb got banned. So a lot of fights tonight is what we'll probably see.
It'll be interesting to see how it actually gets played out in the end, because obviously you can always go in with a plan, but it doesn't always mean you're gonna end up with that plan.
All right. It sounds like they're asking a couple questions of me to make sure I'm ready. Um. So any minute now. Thank you all for coming out. Remember, we have a Maggiarino for NGS, for Storm Division specifically. There's also an NGS store if you want to go get yourself some juicy NGS merch. They got stuff in there. I think there's a hoodie. I don't know actually. I think there's a hoodie. I bet you there's a hoodie. Who makes a store and doesn't have at least one hoodie? There's some coffee mugs. Everyone who drinks coffee, which isn't me, can go get themselves a nice coffee mug. Let's pull this up. Let's see. Where do you even find the store? It's somewhere
I
on
just
the...
went off the announcements from
Yeah, there's
Miss
not a link at the
Card.
top, so go off the announcements, and you
Yeah.
can find... Oh,
So,
never mind. We are going into draft now. Infernal Shrines. Here we go.
all right.
We
You
plugged
going
the
to run
merch
and grab
though,
your food,
so...
or am I?
I
Not
think
there.
you're fine. I'll tell you if I have to step away.
Okay.
They're setting it down right now, so probably after the bans, I'll go get it when I for sure know it's there. What do you think they are looking to first ban? Never mind, Junkrat. What do you think they're
Yeah.
gonna first pick? Because that sets you up for something that you actually have time to discuss.
So okay. So the first pick, if I was them, I'd be looking towards the Blaze or Johanna. Both are very solid picks in that one spot still. You could then either look into even like a Dahaka. Wildcard is very good on Dahaka. So that was always a valid pick. Never mind, that's not a valid pick anymore. That is gone.
Taheka is gone. Alright, you can cover these two bans. I should be back before we're through those.
Okay, so from here, what I'm going to say Durotans is looking at is they're debating whether to ban the Cho'Gall or not. So like we said earlier, Heavy Hitters does play Cho'Gall, and that's just always a monster when you get to 16, no matter what you're going in. They also have a good reliance on Anduin, which is why we're seeing that ban. I think it was 10 games with an 80% win rate, if I'm remembering those numbers correctly off the top of my head. From here, Heavy Hitters I would look to ban into the Maiev most likely, or the Johanna if I was them. Durotan's Couch has great power with that. They know how to combo off both those heroes, how to play defensively. There's the Maiev ban, and like I said, it should be Joe or Blaze here from Durotan's Couch. Let's see.
Alright, I am back. I see the bans, and I don't think they gave me a straw. That's alright.
Yeah, you can never win.
We'll just drink it from the cup.
Yep, there's the Johanna pickup.
Actually, Taco, the deeper voice is Madge, but the not deeper voice is Fox. Patience couldn't make it. So there's the Johanna first pick that you're talking about. How do you feel about the Garrosh into Johanna matchup as a tank player?
It's very skill dependent. I think both ways. A lot of people have the favor on Johanna, especially now because of Falling Sword, because of her buffs. But you can still play around that. Obviously, Garrosh likes to come in from the side. Now, this is definitely the Zag Blaze that I was talking about earlier from Durotans. They are looking to go into 16 with this. They're looking to play the late game. They've got good shrine control to box the enemy team out. You are not walking into that against the Blaze Johanna. You're just going to be stuck on the outside, and Zag will just poke you down, especially into the Bright Wing.
So I took a couple week, almost a month and a half break from HOTS after last season, and when I came back, Zagara was like the pick that I was finding a lot of success with. So I've been spamming that a bunch since then, finding that Maul is still an amazing tool, especially because it goes through Unstoppable. I was using it a lot to counter Johanna's and Garrosh's specifically, because they rely so heavily on their ability to become unstoppable, and the ability to put them into stasis, do 500 damage, and then pop them out at a predictable time, was something that was very, very good that I found. Mephisto ban, which is sad. I really like me some Mephisto play.
Yeah,
Specifically when I play it. Other people I don't enjoy watching as much.
it's not fun playing into either. Heavy Hitters, there we go. They definitely like playing into the Mephisto. Even with like a Garrosh Brightwing, it might not necessarily be the best pick, the best combo piece there, but Mephisto's just an annoying hero to play into and around.
Just noticed it looked like some background noise was coming through my mic, but I went ahead and opened the filter, so hopefully that takes that out. Now we have the Zarya out and Sylvanas. Why don't you, since you like Garrosh so much, tell us why Zarya Garrosh is such a good pairing? What does that pairing bring to the table?
So the pairing specifically, is it a level 4 talent on Zarya or level 7? Honestly, I don't know. I don't play this combo too
4.
much. A 4. There's that 40% move speed on bubble talent. So
50.
your Garrosh, is it 50?
Yeah, it's the highest movement
Why do
speed
I not?
boost in this game
Why
from a
don't I
single
play
ability.
this? Why don't I play this combo? What?
You
Like the
keep
one
telling us about this combo that I keep having to tell you about.
the one the one time we played it, we lost. I just want to point that out.
Didn't say we were good
Uh,
at it. I never said the combo itself was
Yeah,
good either.
but so yeah, it's a 50% move shield bubble on the ally bubble from Zarya. So Garrosh goes from being able to mount at you 30% to 50% run speed. You are not getting away from that. Now we're seeing heavy hitters not have a traditional solo lane in their comp. So they're just going to be look to be very aggressive, look to fight a bunch, because they just won't really win the off lane push, the soak war. So it's going to be a very quick fights, and that's going to be kind of how it goes for the whole game.
A lot of damage though coming out for them, and a lot of sustain. If they don't initially get that first kill, they could go very quickly. And while we're on this loading screen, take this time to go ahead and read off who's playing what, since they can't change anymore. Do you want to take heavy hitters?
Nah, you got heavy hitters.
All right. On the side of heavy hitters, on Garrosh, we have Tezo Paka. On Zarya, we have Ape Monkey, Sylvanas Gecko, Brightwing being played by K-Star, and Vala being played by Xanathorium. I'm so sorry for everyone whose name I
See,
butchered.
that's why I didn't want to. That's why I didn't want to call him.
You have to take the other team.
Yep. So from Durotan's couch, we got Captain Wedge manning the Johanna. Zagara is on, played by Afish. Ektar's on Stukov. Wait, Stukov's on Ektar. Ace is on Tychus, and finalizing their roster is going to be Wildcard on the Blaze.
Alright, I am sorry, I forgot I had Spazzo's tool up. I will, it will swap for the next game, but for right now, you get to see everyone's talents and everyone's cooldowns for everything. But don't worry, I will get that corrected for the second game, but it will not switch mid-game. So we have the teams going out here. It looks like Durotan's couch might go in for a little bit of a cheese. Nope, they're just defending from the cheese. They're taking positions between lanes, getting scouting positions. You see Zagara, not Zarya, in the bot lane there, putting down some creep to get vision early. But heavy hitters just going straight for the mid push here, getting that early XP from that crashing wave.
Now I think it was really smart of Durotan's to look to avoid that fight. Like we said, Afish is actually in trouble here. He's gonna not escape. He's gonna most likely die here. Yep,
First
there he
blood
goes.
going over to heavy hitters, and Vola just now taking her level 1 talent. She's gonna go the auto attack build.
But that is why we saw Durotan split early, because heavy hitters just wants to run at you with their comp. They've given up a whole wave top. Most likely going to be 2 coming out of this. Doesn't look like there's any attempt at a rotate. I'm going to assume Ape Monkey's going to stop here at mid. Nope, looks like he's going all the way up. So they're going to miss one whole wave, about a quarter of the other on the full minion globes. So
I was not predicting Zarya was going to be the one that ended up covering top. I was thinking it would be Vola or Sylvanas, but I'm not upset by it until she has the talent that gives the movement speed. She's not really gonna do an insane amount in the 4-man just yet. I see we have press the advantage from Tychus there. That's not normally the talent that you see at level 1 from him. But the attack range could help him a lot stay safe from being thrown by the Garrosh, while also be able to do the damage in there.
no, I know Ace does really like that in our series against them. He took it while I was on Diablo, so he does like going into the auto attack build that way. Like I said, it does make you a little bit safer. It just gives you more chunk as the game goes on, especially into the higher HP tanks. Oh, that is a throw and a catch out there.
Brightwing Poly to keep him from being able to heal himself efficiently was pretty good. But they almost get the counter kill there onto Vala, but the Brightwing heal comes out just in time. And then the safety throw from Garrosh. But he's low himself. He needs to be careful. He might end up dying. There's a Hunter Killer on him, but he's going to be able to walk away from that in time. Minions body blocking that for him.
Now, as the game goes on, The damage from Durotan's couch, well, from both teams obviously goes up. Durotan's couch, though, with the 16, like I said, they'll get sizzling attacks on Tychus. They'll get corrosive saliva from Zag, and these times when these heroes are just barely surviving are no longer going to be a survive. So they just got to try to play for that late game. If they can get there, they're going to be in a very good spot to take control of it all.
Sylvanas picking up Merc Queen here, looking to push with those waves quite a bit here going forward. And we get Envenom Spines out of Zagara. I really like that. It's going to help them with burst a little bit. It's a little bit less wave clear, but it is the highest burst level 4 that she can get on Zagara. And right now, getting that extra burst onto a Garrosh could be very important, because they are definitely looking to kill him first and foremost in the enemy team. Heavy Hitterz going to approach here looking for the throw. There's the Garrosh Q coming out. The Brightwing Z going out to Garrosh to keep him alive. He's at half health, but they're disengaging both teams here with their Bruiser camp pushing here. Both teams also having a formerly known specialist pushing a different wave. Zagara and bot. Sylvanas was in mid. Tychus is now in mid, going to go ahead and defend that camp from Sylvanas, because she does have that Merc Queen that we pointed out earlier, and she could have done a lot of damage. Sylvanas is going to go down here on Zagara. The 8 fish is going to take a little bit of damage here, but he should be fine. The extra movement speed from Creep is going to get him out just fine. But now Durotan's couch can take the 4v4 in the top lane. We see Garrosh is looking here. Johanna's going to be able to condemn the 8 Monkey, a little slow him down a little bit, but is there enough damage? There's the Garrosh throw onto Tychus. He's going to be able to get the Polymorph on him as well. Brightwing Z coming out onto the Garrosh, keeping him alive, but it was interrupted. Garrosh is getting low, but there's the Zarya shield. He's trying to run it forward. 300 HP. He's going to get out. Both teams going to be able to disengage. No kills here. Brightwing Z back up now because of the level 1, giving that the extra CDR. Going to walk forward here. Throws the throw into Johanna. Not the best target, but it doesn't matter because any target's still a thrown target and it risks to be killed. Blaze is going to take quite a bit of damage as well, as he's going to go ahead and tap. Durotan's couch is going to tap and then look for the re-engage. They should have more in the gas tank here because of having tap still available, tapping second. Ooh, but Blaze is going to be the first to go down here. There's the Unstoppable, the blind going out onto Zarya, going to help Johanna, but Garrosh is getting low. He's going to go down to a Tychus grenade. They're slow onto Zarya next. They're going to get 2 kills here for the price of 1 on the side of Durotan's couch coming out ahead. There's the Envenom Spline going out onto the Brightwing. And how do you feel about how that fight all played out?
It was a very long, drawn-out fight, which was very surprising. Like I said, I don't think the longer the fight goes, the less it's going to favor Heavy Hitters, just because they have less of a sustain. Getting the early pick on Wildcard, though, definitely changes what you could see out of it. And Fish had low mana coming into it, so it was very risky taking that fight for Durotan's couch. It does work out for them in the end. With the Frozen Punisher and the Zag, they're going to be able to probably take at least half this fort. But it looks like there are 5 here, so Durotan's couch does need to play it safer as they get the soak elsewhere.
Honestly, my enjoyment of this map would skyrocket if they made it so you guaranteed would never get a Frozen Punisher as the first one. I feel like it's too strong. It's the only one that consistently... It's definitely got the highest chance of you getting the fort by far because of the free Sylvanas passive coming out in the root, and so you have the extra CC. But here comes Garrosh coming around looking for the throat. Johanna... Unstoppable's going to run out, but he's going to get slowed by Ektar there from the side, and he's going to be unable to follow it up, and Wedge is going to be able to get out because of that. That's really good communication on their part on watching that cooldown. Ooh, the Garrosh is going to be able to get the throw now, though, because Captain Wedge missed the dismount. They're going to put in all the damage they can. There's the Polymorph, but the D is back up from the level 4, and Johanna giving that extra CDR, and also the larger shield. They're going to turn this huge Blaze Stun coming out from the side. Here comes the Falling Sword. You're going to knock up 2. Blaze is still chasing this. Zarya is trying to get away from the Zagara. Zagara is going to chase him down, and Venom Spies onto the Zarya. Zarya going to get the extra throw from the Garrosh. Garrosh is going to hit the Brightwing Z, but he's still going to end up going down from the Blaze Sun onto the 2 of them as follow-up, and Durotan's couch is going to take... It's going to tie up the kills, actually. Wait, is it really only 3? It's only 3 kills to 3, but it feels like more. And immediately we see Durotan's couch spreading out to get the macro and going to even invade that mid camp. Alright, see what you're saying?
That there's always been those times when a lot of people are barely just surviving. Blaze had a great stun there from the side, which kind of set up that fight from the beginning. And then you just saw Heavy Hitters kind of scatter in multiple directions. That's why so few kills actually came out from that fight. Everybody was just able to live, and the target fire was just slightly split enough that they weren't able to confirm anybody till the very end there.
And try to take off some of these numbers because we definitely don't need to see that every time. Alright, there we go. Help reduce some of the clutter on screen. do apologize again. I forgot I had Spazzo's UI set up. For the next one, we will go to what you normally see, the Aliha, I'm so bad at pronouncing his name, overlay. So that way they'll be less cluttered. But for now, you can enjoy all the extra information, like being able to always see right wing's passive cooldown. Ooh, I see we picked up Relentless Soldier. Now that we have a little bit of a break here, we can check some of these other talents. I do like the Relentless Soldier pickup. It's going to help him survive to get to Garrosh, though. How do you feel about Decimate coming out from Garrosh?
So when we were looking at the Garrosh build last night, we noticed he always will take this build. I think taking Decimate and the throw kind of doesn't play into how Garrosh, what favors Garrosh, so I think it's a little bit weaker. I can understand why they would
control
want
into
it,
Tychus. Sorry to interrupt you, but right wing's going to come out. There's the polymorph. Garrosh is going to come in. Ace is going to potentially go down. He gets to the slide away, but he's just going to be walked up there, and Garrosh is going to finish off Tychus there in the bot lane. Alright, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. So yeah, like I said, they definitely like it because of the aggressive style. It helps Garrosh get onto a target. But if you're going to look to do that, Body Check kind of does the same thing and closes the gap that way. So it's just one way to get that gap closure. Now it's interesting that even with 13, Durotan is stepping up. They are down people here, and it's speed bubble, and exactly that. Fish.
There comes the giant maul, though. The big silence puddle and the slap to try to peel for 8-Fish there in the Zagara. But there's going to be the throw forward on 8 Monkey's going to be able to finish him off with the Vola coming out of that as well. Big movement speed buff shield there from the Zarya will get Garrosh out. Bunker's going to come out. They're trying to help finish it off. But right now, Heavy Hitterz is looking like they're going to be able to take Punisher number 2 here on Infernal Shrines. Garrosh is running forward there, using the ultimate Decimate to slow down Ace. He's going to get the throw, but there goes the mind control there on Actor. Decimate coming out doing big damage, but Garrosh is also taking away a bit. Ace is going to be the first to fall here, quickly followed by Johanna. And, unfortunate there. Garrosh's Decimate is actually doing quite a bit of utility here with the slow, letting him catch up to people that are just slightly out of throw range. As we see, Savannah's heading top to match the Blaze, which means that she won't be here to turn off these buildings for the Punisher.
Now, it is a Mortar Punisher, so it does decent structure damage. Obviously not as good as a Frozen. Shut it down. But they'll get this fort for sure. Mostly because Durotan has to play safe. I feel like they need to look towards these fights as taking them as 5. They were taking them as like 4 or 3. And it's just not working out. They don't have enough damage to kill that Garrosh without everybody there. And they're really just not as safe because they don't have the heavy front line of the Blaze Johanna. Really help create the space and keep the backline safe from that.
Odin's out, Punisher down to 20% as they're pushing them off. And it looks like they're just going to get the gate and the sidewall. Not much more coming out here from the side of Heavy Hitterz. But you know what? Honestly, they probably got what they came for. Or at least what they were expecting. Obviously, they came for the core. But unfortunately, they still have keeps in the way. Both teams going to go here. I expect them both to just take their mid camps, and nothing much more exciting to happen for probably a solid 30 to 45 seconds, where unless they end up fighting for that bot camp.
With the 16s, you could look for it, but I'm imagining Durotan's going to play it safe because they're just a little bit too far away to have the 16 advantage. Card is doing a fantastic job catching Soak. He's about at 15k in Soak compared to the next closest, which would be Sylvanas at 10. And that's really, like, with this kill deficit, that's really helping them stay in the game, stay ahead in these levels. Just making all the difference here. So they've hit the 16 power spike that they really want with the Zagara, with the Tychus at this point. Full auto attack build is online. You have the Corrosive Saliva, so Garrosh is going to start melting in these fights. So he's going to have to play it either a lot quicker or look more for the flanking plays into it to get a pick.
We see both teams just trying to get as many camps as they can, but of course Heavy Hitterz coming out slightly ahead because they did get that bottom camp in time. The next Punisher is Arcane, which this late in the game can start doing some serious damage if you're not careful. So we'll have to see how that works out. Both teams just trying to clean up. 8-Fish trying to keep creep down for vision so they can see these rotations. So they knew that Heavy Hitterz were trying to rotate down here onto Ace. they were all able to back up and play safely and keep grouped. And of course, we see Blaze there in the top lane, able to side soak. Not having a traditional offlaner that matches him consistently is kind of keeping heavy hitters from being able to get too far ahead in XP. And in fact, that's why they're down, even though they're up so many kills and also structure damage. Blaze also able to go pick up this bruiser camp for them, and I can kind of feel like they're potentially looking here for a speed bubble throw. I feel like coming out, they might go behind this, depending on how much Couch decide to defend this. And Ace is positioning there on the side. Looks like they're about to go in. Slap's already down. There goes the Sun to 8-Fish. Here comes the Zarya out onto all of them. The Unstoppable coming out to try to help them out, and the Silence Pool also helping there. There's another Silence Pool coming out from Ektar. There's a huge Blaze Stun gonna result in 2 more dying. Garrosh is getting low here. He's at half. Savannah's taking a bunch of damage there on the side. Odin's gonna go ahead and finish that off for the side of Durotan's Couch, and they're trying to catch these two, but the Speed Bubble is gonna help Garrosh get out. And a 3-for-1 in favor of the Couch. Able to turn it around there underneath that fort that's still alive with a whopping 46 HP.
A 46 means it's not passive XP going against you, not cata pressure, so you'll take it. It looks like Zarya's just going to go in. She should probably just look to throw a grenade here, and she can get it down. Yep, looks like she's stepping forward to go get it. There she goes. But it was a good fight. It started out with a Fish getting kind of run down on the bot side. The Garrosh was playing super aggressive, but then all of Heavy Hitters just got stuck in the Silence Pool from Ektar. He got that reset low blow value, and it just kind of ended very quickly after that point.
It looks like Ektar there was trying to get close enough to maybe get a Silence Pool under Garrosh with the help of Wedge and maybe get a quick kill. But unable to catch him, the Brightwing Z is going to come in as well. They're grouped as 4. It looks like they're going to do the same thing that Durotan's Couch did after losing the last one, which is going to give up the fort and then defend at the keep wall. It makes a lot of sense here. Wouldn't have actually minded Durotan's Couch maybe 39ing it to get a little bit closer to 20, pick up their Bruiser camp to push with it. As they're going to lose all the other camps on the map now, as Heavy Hitters is going to be able to pick those up while waiting for this Punisher to get through the fort. But they're also not backing yet. Are they gonna? They can trade keeps. Nope, they're not gonna go. They're not gonna go base race, which could have been really exciting. I've casted a couple base races before. You end up just flipping the camera.
The watch here because Wild Card's nowhere near them, so they are going to be fighting this 5v4. They don't have the Blaze for that extra tanky front line, so they're going to have to play it a little bit safer. We haven't seen the speed bubble yet. Imagine once the Punisher gets a little bit lower, 25% HP, we're going to see Garrosh just go zooming in at them. So they're going to need to watch for that, even with the 20s, but they definitely want this keep here.
Keep is at about a little over half, but here comes the speed bubble. But are they going to catch anyone? The Decimate's going to help slow them down. There's the knock-up onto 2 from his Q, but he's getting so low that Zarya damage is coming in along with the Tychus. There's the Unstoppable to block the Zarya ult. And there goes the Maul onto 2. They're going to turn around here. They're going to go ahead and try. Johanna barely missing the timing there on the condemn, but Ace there trying to Q down Gecko, but is unable to. Zarya on the backline there is going to go ahead and try to make space, but mind control barely missing on the Blazes. They were trying to turn that around. Now they're pushing back in. They're looking to get this keep. Do you think they may be trying to play for the end, or is this just a keep and leave?
I would call this a keep and leave at this point. If you get another pick, you can definitely go for the end. They are stepping forward, though, so they're going to have to play for that pick. Garrosh is still dead for 20.
They do have a Kata there behind them also pushing up, so they will have a little bit of Kata damage there. Odin is up in 30, but there goes Gecko. He's trying to get in there, but there's going to be the huge silence. It's a little overextension there, but it doesn't really matter. He felt forced to try to not lose the game here, but Durotan's Couch is pushing for the win. They are going to have bunker. They can bunker siege. There goes the bunker as well as the Johanna ult for the Unstoppable, and game 1 will go over to Durotan's Couch.
It was a very clean game from them. It started off a little rough, a little bit early there. Just some good picks out of the Garrosh value, but once they were able to just push into that late game where their comp really thrives, it was very easy to just punish that Garrosh from stepping up. The low blow with the resets, the Tychus auto attack build, Zagara corrosive saliva, and then the Blaze Johanna just to kind of sit on Garrosh and stop him from being able to throw those juicy targets. Definitely helped them scale.
As we've seen a handful of times since her rework, we see Johanna with the top hero damage of the game. Quick, not far behind is Tychus there on Ace. Tychus on Ace. Ace on Tychus. Able to do quite a bit of damage, and we're getting the invite already to the next lobby. These teams are rolling, and we're going to one of the few large maps left in the form of Cursed Hollow. Why don't you give us a quick overview of this map real quick, like draft style? I'm
Draft
assuming
style.
most people know what the map
I was
is.
gonna be surprised. Yeah. So we're looking draft styles for this specific team, both these teams, because if we are, Cursed Hollow is an interesting map. Heavy Hitters doesn't have too many games on it, but the games that they do have, they are not afraid to Cho'Gall on this map. It's in fact one of the maps that they have a preference for Cho'Gall on, so it's something that is going to be sitting in the back of Durotan's couch's mind this whole time during draft. Do we ban it? Do we let it through? If they take it, what do we do? And that's where we're going to be seeing a lot going on there. Other than that, globals are a very strong point to this. I know Durotan's couch considers themselves very good at the macro play, so they might be looking to a full global comp just to outsoak heavy hitters, because we saw heavy hitters didn't take that traditional offlane. They just ran. So we might see this kind of opposite where Durotan's is like, okay, if you're just going to do that, you will not get close to us. We're just going to push all your lanes in, and there's nothing you can do with that comp style.
So what I'm hearing is TLV Hammer Comp, which, by the
Only in
way,
your
they do have the
dreams.
pool for. I am aware of that. If, because you mentioned Cho'Gall for heavy hitters here. Heavy hitters, I think, may not want to do that unless they're going to ban out that Zagara and the Tychus that Durotan's Couch just showed a heavy preference for this high percent damage comp. And I think they may benefit a little bit from going in for more of a traditional bruiser on this map, macro being extremely important. I could see them banning the Dahaka again, and I feel like they need to ban either the Stukov, the Joe. They have to ban something from the 4-man, I think, from last game specifically. I feel like Durotan's Couch was very comfortable in their 4 picks. They all played very well together. There was a lot of synergy there. Um, I'm very excited to see how this ends up playing out. This is a best of 5, and that was game 1. So we could see how long we can go.
Yep.
Or how short. Will Durotan's Couch, now that they have a little bit of momentum, keep going? Or will heavy hitters be coming back to do the reverse? Well, it's not a reverse sweep yet because they're only down 1 game, but they definitely are looking to make it back.
Now, it is a big map, as we said. There is always a chance for Juice Pirates. Now, do I think it will come out? No, but you did talk about the Hammer TLV, so if we're gonna put that in the loop, we gotta talk about Juice Pirates. It's not the greatest map. You usually see it on Sky Temple, but it's a big map. And if you're worried about a Cho'Gall, it ends before Cho'Gall gets to be able to do anything effective, so it's not something to just toss away and not consider at all.
It would not be the first NGS finals that has a Juice Pirate on Cursed Hollow. So it's definitely
That
an
does not
option.
surprise me.
The other thing is heavy hitters plays, let me make sure this is, yeah, it plays Deathwing, and Deathwing can stall for 15 seconds by himself on the objective. So we could potentially see that come out and go for a side lane push build with maybe picking up the Sylvanas again and just let Deathwing solo stall from the air.
You know, like I said when the cast started, every team goes into these with a plan. Once you're in the games, the plan goes out the window 90% of the time because you just don't know what to expect. So they do have a favoritism towards Deathwing. They really like the hero. So it's something that definitely needs to be watched for. But they also have the Mephisto in their pool. They have Garrosh. They have Artanis. These are all things they are very comfortable on. And then just to add to that, you get more weird heroes with the Cho'Gall, with the Gazlo. Things that they are willing to play. So you always got to watch. You always got to be ready for when that comes out and kind of just put you in your place.
Is very true. See the Dahaka ban once again. I like it. We talked about the power of globals. Dahaka is extremely strong. Fell off for a little while, received a couple buffs, kind of came back. But honestly, like his overall power level has been the same. And also, fun fact, because I found this out after when they nerfed him, like 4 patches ago, or whatever, the Hako's auto attacks have only ever been nerfed, and they've been nerfed 5 times since his release. There's the
I'm just
goal
gonna
ban,
trust
so
you on that
Cho'Gall's
one.
not
Okay.
going to be an option here.
Yeah, they did run it in their last week against Cool Cats and Kittens in the last final. So it was something that, like I said, was definitely on their mind. They knew they had just run it recently. The other tanks they've run on this map would be the Garrosh Zarya and Tyrael from the 3 games they've played of it this season. So they just gotta watch out for the Garrosh Zarya if they were afraid of it. Based on the bans, it doesn't necessarily seem like it, but I'm imagining we're gonna see a Johanna first pick.
Captain Wedge pulling all the bans from heavy hitters in this game. The Blaze was definitely extremely scary. He had a lot of good stuns, a lot of good side flanks. Bunker helped. The attack speed slow also from Oil came out. It's hard to see that sometimes, but it did come out. And Captain Wedge is going to pick up that Johanna once again. He played that extremely well in last game. What do you pick here as heavy hitters?
It depends what they're look. If they saw the value of the Garrosh Zarya, they might just lock it right here. But it looks like they're gonna go Brightwing. Most likely, they'll probably take the Garrosh here, or like a Sylvanas. They did leave the Aces Maiev open. I'm wondering if we're going to see that going into the next round. So they might be looking to think about how they can draft against it. But they're just going to take the Mephisto here, make sure it can't get banned away from them again.
My boy Mephisto coming out. Very excited to see him. Scales extremely well. Is, I believe, the tankiest mage in the game. Once you account for if you take armor at 7 or whatever form you take, because you get bonus healing. You get more effective HP at that point past Azmodan. Otherwise, Azmodan obviously has the HP pool to be the tankiest. And we see Hugger and that Maiev from Ace coming out, like you talked about. Why is Ace's Maiev so scary?
Honestly, as a half decent Maiev player myself, I don't know. He's just really good at that hero. I cannot figure out what he does differently, but he's always there to capitalize. He never seems to take damage. He never seems to die. Yet he always seems there to punish you, pull 6 people in on your 5-man roster, and you're all dead.
According to chat, K-Star, best Brightwing in the world. See how that plays out, because a lot of pressure is going to be on him to polymorph this Maiev. When Ace comes in, he needs to get the poly off before Ace gets the W off. Ideally. Garrosh
and it did work for them early last game, too.
Also, Ektar's Stukov got banned, which would have been extremely scary inside of a Warden's Cage. On top of how scary it was already last game. Junkrat coming out. Junkrat, another favorite hero of mine. And Artanis. Why don't you tell us what Artanis brings to the table?
So for them specifically, Artanis rarely ever goes stacking. So they're going to be looking here. He usually takes reactive parry and usually takes phase prism build. So he's going to be looking to slow targets on the backline that he can jump on. They will not be able to get away, and Artanis can very quickly kill them by himself, even without the stacking quest. Now, with his level 10s, he's going to be picking up the blinds most likely. I'd be very surprised if it's laser. And that's going to shut down Ace's ability to tether people. Now, the Artanis into the Anachromi, if he gets on them, he will have a field day. So it's up to Captain Wedge and Wildcard just to make sure Artanis cannot just walk into that backline, or the backline's going to have to play really far away, really safe, and watch those flanks.
Alright, well, as a Chromie and a Mephisto player, and Junkrat, and yeah, honestly, I play a lot of these big characters. Anyways, as Mephisto, I really, really, really hate facing Chromie with loop. You blink in, then you get pulled out, and that you always rely on that getting out portion of it. And loop is extremely difficult on Chromie because you get pulled right back in when you're not prepared for it, when you don't have your cooldowns necessary, when they're ready for you, and they don't have a way of saving him on the side of heavy hitters. And I'm scared that that might make a huge difference here. With ETC coming out, they always have a chance for a level 20 Mosh or a Death Mosh or some kind of crazy pull around play. And let's go ahead and see who's playing what on the side of heavy hitters in Game 2 of Grand Finals Division B. Tzapako, I'm so sorry, I need to figure out how to pronounce your name, is playing ETC. Zanrinthium is on Mephisto. K-Star on his infamous Brightwing. You have Gecko on Junkrat and 8 Monkey playing Artanis.
And coming from Durotan Couch's side, you got Johanna played by Captain Wedge once again. Chromie is going to be played by Afish. Ector will be pulling up their healer as Ana, which is not a hero healer we see too much anymore. Very much out of the meta, but they probably have some sort of plan. Nano Boost Maev, always fantastic. Speaking of that Maev, going to be played by Ace, who also very fantastic at the hero. And then we have Hogger is going to be played by Wildcard, and I know it's one of his favorites in the offlane. He has a lot of fun on it, so we're going to see if he's going to be able to pull off any crazy things. He likes to go Shockwave, so we'll see if he continues that line of talent as well.
See ETC gonna grab the top vision real quick. No one on Durotan's couch prioritizing that. We see Q Quest coming out of Mephisto here, as they're gonna go here onto the Hogger. He's gonna be able to spin out after ETC at half health, but he's all right. Ooh, Maev doing quite a bit there to Mephisto. Ace is already looking a little scary. He's going to go back in there, but doesn't have cooldowns to get W. There's going to be the swap. He's going to dodge it by jumping over, but Mephisto's going to be the first to fall here. And 8 Monkey taking quite a bit of damage there for Chromie W. But the teams are going to leave this with only Mephisto falling.
That was a pretty good fight there. Let me see. Did Hogger use his tap? He did not use his tap there as well coming out of that fight. So that's even going to be better for them, because he will have it coming into the objective, into this 1v1. He just, between Ana and On the Prowl, he was able to get back up.
Sleep there onto the Junkrat, but the Brightwing Z is going to be there immediately to force that out. Chromie very good at holding a lane. She's one of the best anti-pushers in the world. Honestly, her and Junkrat, both teams have pretty solid anti-push if they really wanted to. But Chromie, arguably the best at it because she just hits so much heavier in such a short amount of time. We see both teams now on the camp. Mephisto, not the worst, but not the best. We do see 8 Monkey going to come over and help that out. Artana's much better at taking camps. And of course, Durotan's couch got Ace and Ektar on the other side doing it. But they're kind of missing bot XP for this. But they're getting all the camps out. Ace is going to be able to pick that up. Only two of them look like they shrunk down. But now we see both teams going for the Bruiser camp here as level 4s come in for them. And Bully's back up. It's going to be multi-trap Chromie. And also Brute Force Hogger. A little interesting there on the Brute Force. I think CCL players pick it a handful of times. I personally don't ever really take it. I'm excited to see how that works out. And Polymorph coming out there from Brightwing for that extra slow, probably for the Maev to be able to do just a little bit more damage consistently there. Hogger going to be able to E away from that gank very well. Keep himself alive there. As Durotan's couch have 4 people here to defend against this Bruiser camp. There's going to be the Z onto Mephisto, but quick damage there onto Brightwing, following it up from Ace after the Z in. Meanwhile, Junkrat able to set up here for this objective, but with 15 seconds till it spawns, Durotan's couch can go through all of his little setup here and still reach him in time. Sleep Dart not quite going to connect there. They're going to go ahead and pick up that XP. There is quite a bit of tower damage from both teams here on the bot lane. ETC going to go ahead and get hit by the Chromie Time Trap, but no follow-up damage there. With a Junkrat W there on the curse point, it's going to be take quite a bit before Durotan's couch can cap there. But Johanna's in there alone. Ace is going to dive in. There's this power slide coming out from ETC. Sleep Dart there onto Mephisto, going to keep him from doing much once he shades in. Junkrat Trap going to come over, and both teams offlane are still in the top lane, but the Hogger rotating down now, maybe just for Midsug, maybe to come all the way down. Johanna able to keep heavy hitters there from capping, as well as the Chromie. Power Slide coming in onto 2 there, but the Unstoppable on Johanna keeping her nice and healthy. ETC going to go ahead and be hit by the tether from Maev, going to get pulled in and go down. Gecko taking quite a bit, but able to self-mine himself away. But the Chromie W going over the wall and is able to finish him, unfortunately. And, ooh, I didn't realize Ace also fell there. Extra wound timers complimenting the Junkrat there.
Yeah, he got booped by the Junkrat mine right into one of the bombs on the ground, and was just enough to catch him. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed, Xanthanarium on Mephisto is taking Q build. I know this is something he usually goes. It's interesting to see on this map, especially into a little bit of a heavier front line, that being that 3 heroes of the Hogger, Johanna, Maev. So we'll see if the explosions later do get a lot of value, because I'm guessing he goes out at 16. I can't remember off the top of my head. But we are seeing the Phase Prism build from Artanis. So he's going to be looking just to, like I said, swap that backline and just kind of run them down and kill them before they can even escape.
It is the time loop coming out from Chromie, so she's probably going to be looking for that Mephisto quite a bit, but they could just be using it for any picks. Could use it here on ETC, but ETC might not need it to go down. The huge damage coming out from the side of Durotan's couch, and they're actually going to rewind Brightwing. Brightwing got rewound.
I think that had to be a misclick. They were both standing on pretty close to each other, so...
Sorry, they did quite a bit of damage there, but ETC was able to tap. He's going to go up. He does have Pog Rock at level 1, which does give him that extra healing as he picks up globes, permanently buffing his E. Now the teams are going. There's quite a bit of damage, but Mephisto gets found in the backline there by Ace, and they're going to turn on him. He's going to end up being the first to fall in this fight. Wildcard chasing down KSR and Gecko there. Gecko. The Brightwing Z going there onto the ETC as this fight continues. Brightwing going to get tethered in by Ace, but there's the sleep dart there. Wildcard facing Junkrat there on the side. Here comes the swap. Swap's going to miss because the Ace is going to leap over it. Well-timed jump from him as they're fighting each other in this bush once again. But there's a Chromie time trap in there that Heavy Hitters needs to be aware of because it could result in it. But it ends up missing the pull back onto the two frontliners of Heavy Hitters. Chromie doing quite a bit of damage there to ETC. Artanis is trying to get out, but he's going to be able to make it. The blinds keep him from able to auto-attack to get his shields back. And Durotan's couch taking an early demanding lead, it feels like, right now. How do you feel about how these teams are playing?
Sorry, was muted because I started coughing. It's very interesting how they're both playing. Heavy Hitter seems to be kind of trying to get different angles into fights, like kind of playing more split. But right now, Durotan's couch is playing into that very well. They see it coming. Ace was on that Mephisto before he could even teleport. This is that same thing I was just talking about. Heavy Hitters is being very aggressive. ETC is so far alone right now. I would love to see them just turn to kill him. But they're just going to kill him without a full turn. There was a shockwave there onto it. The Mephisto is going to be coming back
onto the Mephisto, into the sleep and the anti-heal. The exact issue I talked about in draft. And
now Durotans will also make it down to this objective in time, so they're going to have the curse here. So let's see how they're going to play it. It looks like they're 5-man rotating, so they're probably going to give top soak for a little bit off of this curse play, and they might just look to hard push bot as 5 or send card mid and then do a 4-man push.
Is working on that siege camp at the same time. I do like all the combo potential we see coming out of Heavy Hitters ultimates here. You have the Durance of Hate, you have the Mosh, you have the Riptire coming out, and those ults landing could easily be a team wipe every single fight if they're not careful. And we don't have Falling Sword this time to cleanse people out of it, as it is the Blessed Shield. But here comes the Durance, and it's going to be a route onto the Johanna, who's going to be mined back under the tower, but they are under curse, so there's no tower shots to come in. Ace is going to blink in there, looking for the two backliners. There comes the Blessed Shield stun. Gecko's going to end up falling down there too. The bonus damage coming out from Blade Dance and Loon's Wrath, being able to do that extra bit of damage there to finish him off. And the boss was able to finish top 4, barely though, as there was not much HP left on it after it. ETC trying to clean up mid the best he can, but here comes Mephisto to help that, but Wildcard is there. He's just going to bounce away, play it safe, and Durotan's couch should easily start boss right now. Well, Heavy Hitters still has to defend the minions from this curse.
Now, Durotan's does have to be careful here, with Ace no longer having his Vault of the Wardens, not having 13s, so this is an even talentier fight.
Ace is going there on the backline. We see the Brightwing Z coming out, and all these teams are going in. Huge mosh pit into the Durance route, but where's the Riptire? There's the rewind onto Mephisto, pulling him back in. He wasn't quite ready. He's still trying to get it. Boss is still doing damage to Heavy Hitters right now, but there's already 2 down the side of Durotan's couch. They're trying to chase down the Hogger now. Junkrat's going to mine himself forward, and he's going to Riptire it to finish it off. While they're all low, there's no one quite there to finish off Heavy Hitters, as they will go back to get the boss that spawns on their side of the map. And Durotan's couch, Wedge and Nectar working on that bruiser camp.
It was a little bit of a greedy play. They got punished for it, but it's not the end of the world. There is no objective up. Forts are still healthy. They can easily clear this boss with the comp they have. So nothing was real. You lost a lot in your XP lead, your map pressure, but game-wise, not too much has changed. So it's still a pretty safe situation that Durotans finds themselves in. Off of this, I'm just trying to see if there's
So,
any weird talents, and not really from what I got up here.
no, I didn't say anything crazy coming out right now. As we have 24 in Mephisto Q quest at level 1, which I believe he gets his first at 20. It does 100 more damage. After 40, he gets an additional charge of it, and of course, every time he lands that, he gets CDR from his passive. As Durotan's Couch able to clear out that boss, but that gives Heavy Hitters time to clear Durotan's Couch's Bruiser Camp to set up their own Bruiser Camp to push during this objective, but Wildcard, being a hogger, may be able to clear that in time. Go ahead and get these talents out of the way, because this is going to be a fight. Wildcard going in there, he's alone, but he's going to be able to spin out, but can he finish getting away? Here's, ooh, I think he actually interrupted the swap, but the Artan is blind to finish him off at 15 HP.
Now,
Durotan's Couch looking to just now disengage. They can't give this. It's not like they're going to end up under curse. Even if they are, it's better to end up under curse with all your forts still up than to die right before a curse, potentially, and lose the game. But it was, unfortunately for Heavy Hitters, only the first altar that they have gotten, which gives time for Couch to go ahead and clear out that mid-bruiser camp. They're going to go ahead and get Siege Camp now, but Heavy Hitters is looking to engage on this, but with the Vision Tower, Durotan's Couch knows that they're coming here. But how much more do they know? Can they still in time? Extra's trying to cap the camp right now. The Sleep Dart to keep Artans from getting there. Huge chromie damage here in this choke point, but can they escape? ECC there looking to rotate around. Maev is showing in the top lane still. Camp's quickly cleared out there by Heavy Hitters, and honestly, it shows sign of life. They're still playing that ultra aggressive that you talked about with their playstyle.
and that's always a good thing. That's part of the huge mental game that you find in any real sports and esports is once your mental game's kind of shot, you're going to lose your motivation, your morale. So the fact that they're still doing it, they still have faith, they still think they can pull this out. So it's always good to see. Now they are just doing a very 5-man gank heavy squad once more. With ETC offlaning at this point, which is extremely odd seeing as how he's not stage dive. They might just be trying to say, hey, we can give this objective, but they're getting aggressive at this point, so they might be looking to fight here with how they're positioning a route. And it's a 16
We
versus
see
16.
lightning reaction coming out there from Mephisto. High potential burst. We also see spread volley. Junkrat going for that shotgun build. Ooh, swap barely missing there on aces. These teams positioned for this fight, and any second now they're just gonna rip it. Both teams are gonna fight. K-Star trying to channel there, which is gonna force Durotan to step up enough to stall it. But the tanks are coming around for the side of Durotan's Couch. There's the swap. The ultimate coming out from Ace, but he's super low here. The shockwave going out. ETC gonna get stunned against the wall there. Some bounces around from Wildcard. Captain Wedge getting bounced forward by the Junkrat. Both teams out, but both teams have taken quite a bit of damage. Both teams have people at full health, and both teams have people at half health. Which healer can heal them up enough to let them re-engage? ETC is going to go ahead and power slide in, but the multi-trap is going to hit the two backliners. But here comes the root now from the Mephisto. He's actually able to hit Hogger and Johanna, which is going to give him the extra damage. Captain Wedge is going to go down, but Ace here in the background is going to go ahead and clean up one. And he's going to jump over. Mosh is going to hit no one. Wildcard there as well in the background, which is who ETC was aiming for. Wildcard is going to go down next. Ace is trying in the back. 8 Monkey going against 8 Fish here, and Ektar in the backline. He's going to get slept out of his W, it looked like, but he was able to quickly take damage. Ace still there in the backline trying to finish people off. The Brightwing Z going to go there onto the Artanis, is going to help him out a bunch. 8 Fish maybe looking for a stall, but needs to be careful. If he gets power slide, he could result in death. 8 Monkey channel, there's the channel going over to Heavy Hitters, and Durotan's Couch is signed to disengage. And we have a pause coming out.
Ooh, that would be the Canadian internet getting the best of Captain Wedge. So that fight started out very weird. Durotan's Couch was very split through it. You had both your tanks underneath the objective, so they had to come the long way to get back. Then you had Ektar split above the top side of the Bruiser camp when they got forced upon. So the fight was very split early on, which I think lends itself to Heavy Hitters in an entirely good way just because of their comp punishes that.
Looks like this won't end up being that long of a pause. But yeah, that fight ended up very split. And Ace did quite a bit of work to make sure that they still got some kills there to keep themselves in it and not get too far behind on kill XP. Durotan's Couch is still slightly ahead by, I'd say, about a little less than an eighth of a level right now. We do see we have Critterize coming out of Brightwing, giving that reduced armor on the polymorph target. Really going, trying to get the polymorph here onto my Ev, I feel like, and then really give their team a chance to take them down. We didn't really get to talk about Durotan's Couch's 16s. Vengeful Knives coming out, dealing damage to enemy heroes causes the next cast a fan of knives that hits enemy heroes to deal 1% maximum HP as bonus damage up to 5%. Could really help take down the Mephisto, the ETC, the Artanis, all very good large HP pool heroes to use that on. Shifting Sands coming out, so the spell power when Chromia lands Qs. And of course, active reload from Ana being the standard pick there. Very exciting game so far. We are on game 2 of BUS Finals.
Yep.
Just
You just kind of waiting here. Now, looking at this while we're paused, Durtans does have hugely favorable waves. There's a kata in every single wave, plus the next wave that's coming. You have mid on the mid keep wall. So heavy hitters is going to have to disengage pretty hard here. Based on where they're going, and obviously it's not being seen on stream, does look like they're looking to back out, not go for the boss play. So that will be good for them from here to defend.
Yeah, both these teams playing very well. Both these teams playing aggressive. I like to see it. They're playing, using their alts very well. They seem to be communicating and organizing. They both showing exactly why they've made it to the Division B Grand Finals here. And while we're paused, let's take this moment to once again plug the NGS merch store. And I'm going to make another attempt here to see if I can find it. Because you can go to the NGS homepage, and from there, scroll through the announcements, you said, right?
I did it through the NGS Discord.
In the NGS Discord, you can go to the announcement page there and find a link to the NGS merch store. NGS, of course, is also has a Patreon. You can send money to NGS to keep it going. You pay for things like the website and the pins that winners get, and you can get cool merch if you buy merch. NGS-store-front.myshopify.com, and you can see all kinds of cool stuff there. There's a Weenus shirt. There's an NGS mug. You can get some NGS underwear. Different styles, different colors. You got all kinds of different hats and shirts and, of course, hoodies. Honestly, some interesting merch there. If you have not been to the NGS merch store, I recommend checking it out. And Durotan's Couch is ready. So we're about to get back into Game 2, Division B, Grand Finals. Heavy Hitters has not said they're ready yet. Might have had someone get up to use the restroom real quick. As everyone knows, the stress of a Grand Finals can easily make your bladder act up. But you should also remember to stay hydrated. Drink your water. In fact, take the time right now, if you don't have water next to you, to go get a glass of water. And you better hurry because they're counting down. So go get your water. As we're going to go ahead and resume the game now. Both teams moving around. Chromie using the vision to confirm Heavy Hitters did not go on boss. And they're going to go ahead on the side of Durotan's Couch to pick up the Bruiser camp now. Mephisto picking up the Siege camp for Heavy Hitters. And yeah, they're just going to doing macro things, macro timings. And we definitely like ourselves some solid macro here. Both teams. And Durotan's Couch, with all 5 Heavy Hitters up, going to go ahead and go for the boss camp because they see Artanis on the bot lane. and I don't know. They may have had Vision or ECC backing, but I doubt it. They go ahead and pick up that boss right as the tribute gets announced, which is going to put some pressure here onto Heavy Hitters to determine if they want to defend the boss or try for a curse, potentially end the game. It looks like with the way they're positioning right now, they're going to try to get a little bit of an edge into the 20 race, get a little bit of extra bottom soak, have the bruiser camp going, and then just defend boss and wait for the next tribute and hope for a more favorable spawn. I have not been counting the cycles of 3, but I think are we in the middle of a cycle of 3, or is this the third one?
This is the third one, so it's going to be a new cycle because we went through the full curse for Durotans and they won all 3 in a row. Then it went 2, 1, so yep, that was the last of the 3.
Alright, so the next one can go anywhere, and it's going to actually be a safe spawn for Heavy Hitters. The ideal one.
Now, it's not as safe as a spawn as you would normally see in the early game, because there's no forts around. There's no easy tap, so that will favor Durotans a little bit. There's a chance they can get 20 before the objective spawns. It will be a very close, but I don't think so. It looks like Heavy Hitters is just trying to set up around the objective, make sure they can get it no matter what. I wouldn't be against Durotans just saying, hey, we don't care, we'll just give it up, and just defending their lanes. They do have the good wave clear. If you lose a couple forts, I think at this point it's worth it,
because
you just can't get caught out. That was very nice escape out of Ace.
For the tribute. I just got a feeling, I don't know, I feel like the Unstoppable from Falling Sword would have helped Durotan's couch just a little bit here into the root and stuff, but Wedge also just using these blessed shields really well and letting Ace go in on these stun targets do quite a bit. Ace looking to potentially go over the wall, but he's going to be found by Artanis here below him, and this is going to force Durotan's couch to back up a little bit, try to get out of the Junkrat choke point. But here comes the power slide into the mosh pit, but it's going to be a huge sleep interrupt from Ektar there onto the Maiev. I don't even have time to cast abilities. They're all dying so quickly on the side of Heavy Hitters. Durotan's couch coming out there. The Chromie getting nano boosted here. Captain Wedge trying to chase them down. Boss is going to get aggro. There's the power slide onto 2, but here comes... Oh! The Endurance of Hate just barely missing, but Mephisto trying to go in and finish this off. ECC going to get stunned out there and end up dying. Here comes Hogger. He's trying to bounce around. Ooh, doesn't quite have the angle there, but it doesn't really matter because Durotan's couch is now in position to steal the boss, and this could be setting themselves up to win the game, as they can also get their second tribute.
Now, Heavy Hitters tried to take a very brave fight there. They left Brightwing to cap the point behind them while the rest of them engaged, pushed really far. By the time Brightwing could react with the Z, it was just too late. They were so far away that Durotans was able to punish them. Now, they did have Cata Pressure in both lanes, so even if they had lost that, they wouldn't have been in bad position because both keeps were under attack from those. But with this boss, with the curse, with the 20 advantage, should be able to get this keep. I don't know if they can end. They'll have to look for picks once more for sure.
Don't have curse.
But this is a post 16-minute boss, so it definitely got hit.
Is able to go straight onto the keep. The shotgun's coming out now from the Junkrat, as there's a large Chromie W coming out now. As the teams are looking. Brightwing Z gonna help finish Artanis, buff him, put him back up at high health. As looks like we're just gonna have the boss hit the keep, but then Durotan's couch go away. Riptire going out there to help deter that. Mimic being picked up now by Mephisto, giving him a huge potential DPS increase if you're not careful with your positioning, and arguably making Chromie Rewind on him a little bit less impactful. Because it doesn't matter if he's blinking around inside your team now as much because of the Mimic damage that he's going to get, potentially shredding your team meanwhile. Wildcard going to go ahead there and throw a W there onto the ECC. Chromie's trying to channel, get a quick channel, but Artanis blind, being a global ult, is able to interrupt that. Now there goes the power slide forward there onto Wildcard, but not quite the damage follow-up they're looking for. Gecko and Mephisto there on the side, looking to position in this bush to kind of keep out of vision, maybe protect the shape. But the Chromie vision going to give them eyes on that. There goes the power slide forward. It's going to be the mosh onto the Ana, but the interrupt coming out from Hogger, and there's going to be a huge amount of Mephisto damage there into the Warden Cage from Maiev, actually setting him up. And there's the death mosh that we talked about earlier. The huge 20 coming into play. Artanis is getting to finish up and do quite a bit of damage there onto Johanna, but actually will fall to Mephisto damage. And now a curse coming out from Heavy Hitters, and they have a chance to really make an impact on the structures on this map.
Now, if I was heavy hitters, I think they should just run down top as 5. Mephisto's going to go clear mid out, but they should just be trying to get keep value here. Playing for the forts while you can. I feel like at this point in the game, you just want that constant cata pressure. You should just be looking to take one lane and go with it. Now, their siege damage is always going to be subpar outside of the Mephisto, but he's not W build, so it doesn't quite line up the same way there that it normally would for you to just shred through it with a level 1 talent.
Now, because they did reach level 20, Maiev does have double Warden jump now, so that could make a big difference going forward in these fights. But of course, Heavy Hitter is going to go ahead and pick up the boss on the top side of the map, while Durotan's Couch is required to defend the minions that are pushing into the curse still. And this is good timing from Heavy Hitters. This boss is going to be able to walk around. Unfortunately, they can't make a double boss play, but they can go ahead and make a bruiser play and steal that as well, away from Durotan's Couch. And this Junkrat really creating quite the zone here, and with his level 20 could potentially really do a lot of damage into these Mosh and Death Moshes coming out from ETC, who's been landing them fairly well. Fortunately getting interrupted, but you can't interrupt a Death Mosh. Not yet. Interesting day, right?
I hope that day never comes. Let's see here. So they're just taking the forts here. This is perfectly fine. They got the boss. It's not going to get anything done top, because they just took it in left to get the other forts. This is going to even up most of the lanes, top and mid specifically. Bot will now be less unfavored, which just that little bit makes all the difference when you're fighting top for your life. So this works out. They're just going to go back to their camps here. You just have both teams basically just waiting for the next tribute to spawn.
No camps on the side of Durotan's Couch coming up anytime soon, so they might be making plays, but they're just going to start off by getting the vision, clearing up bot wave, trying to get vision prepped for the next tribute that's going to be down there, because that will give Durotan's Couch a chance to get the curse, and that curse could be their way of ending it. Though, most games on this map, in competitive play specifically, not necessarily Storm League or Quick Match, don't usually end as a result of a curse. They end as a result of a boss, and the next boss up is on the side of Heavy Hitters in 20 seconds, 19 seconds. But they're going to go for a pick here onto Hogger, but of course Hogger has some unstoppables, but they're going to use Durns, but it's too late. He gets the wind up going, and so even though it connects, he's still able to E away, and that's Durns down 20 seconds after the altar comes up for the tribute. Will they have Durns back? And that losing that ult right beforehand could be the thing that makes it or breaks this game for them. There's going to be Maiev tether onto the Junkrat. Junkrat's going to go ahead and get the Breaking Z now. There's going to be the counter engage coming out from Heavy Hitters, but Junkrat's going to end up getting killed there in the end. NTC getting low, but they got to be wary of the Mosh Pit coming out. There's the Death Mosh onto Ace, and Johanna walks into it, trying to help peel him. Ace is going to go ahead and get that second jump now. The Chromie doing quite a bit there too. Mephisto's trying to use that Mimic, and now Durotan's Couch is going to be able to go down and get the curse. And the curse should defend the top enough that this siege camp coming out from Heavy Hitters won't get a whole lot done. And the boss is available, but they're going to opt to instead look for a game ending. There was a Chromie trap sitting there for who knows how long, and he was able to find him. There's the blink from Mephisto, though, and they're going to actually finish off the Chromie before the Chromie can do anything else. Here comes another Durn, so hey, it's going to go down there onto Ace, but it doesn't matter because he already hits the tether out. There's going to be a warden jump, and there's going to be a blink away as the Artanis Blind comes out. There's the Polymorph onto the Hogger. The Hogger's going to try to run away. There's the 3 cannons there also helping them out, though. 8 Monkey looking very healthy here, even with his shields, he's still got to go. Ace is getting a little low, he's at 300, but he's still got the blinks away. Wedge is coming in to try to peel for Ektar now. And here comes another Mimic from Mephisto, but it's not going to be enough, as they're going to be able to disengage out of this, only losing the Chromie. Rather unfortunately to this Mephisto that they were trying to get the pick on using a potential rewind.
I would have liked if Durotan's just said, we're going to do the boss. Even with the curse, you're losing a little bit of time. But I feel like the boss
going to go down though to the
Mephisto, just do the Mephisto things.
Extra able to peel for Ace there, get the sleeper on Artanis so they didn't lose 2 members here. But with that staggered death coming out from Wildcard, it's going to give the boss over to the side of Heavy Hitters. And that could be an issue for them going forward when that finishes off. But for that cost, they're going to lose mid-keep to the Kata. And that keep could also be an issue for them with the Katas coming down that lane now more consistently.
Durotan should be able just to defend this boss. They can't be a double boss play here, so very steady. As long as they get on this early enough, they'll be able to contest the top boss if Heavy Hitterz decides to go for it. Doesn't look like it. It looks like they're just trying to get the keep with this boss here.
If this boss doesn't end the game, I think Durotan's Couch have a 90% chance of winning since their boss will be the next one up, and I don't see us going through another cycle to get back to Heavy Hitter's boss. Though Heavy Hitterz could go for Durotan Couch's boss later on. In the 20 seconds is up, they could start walking there now and do it while this boss is still being defended, but it could be a little risky as we see Durotan Couch is burning through this. It's already down to half HP there. It's hiding behind Ace's HP bar sometimes, but they are burning it. They are defending the Bruiser camp, but they're going to go for a siege camp. And I feel like Durotan's Couch now has a huge advantage with the boss up on their side. Neither team even close to getting a curse right now.
Heavy Hitterz looks like they're setting up around boss. Might be just positioning to stall if they see Durotan.
No.
Yeah, it looks like they're just setting up to see if Durotan goes on it. I was going to say it's a very brave play to do it this late, but
with only,
they are running at it now, though.
With only Brightwing showing on the map, they kind of had to walk over and check it a little bit. Chromie Vision coming out now, able to reveal that Mephisto was staying there and that all of Heavy Hitterz was just not quite ready. Heavy Hitterz able to use that Brightwing Global, let him side soak a little bit there. Now they're going to go ahead and pick up the Bruiser camp from their side, and ETC trying to keep an eye on this boss, because at any point, Durotan's Couch could try to run it down and get the boss instead of going for this tribute. Or they could play for the tribute. Who knows? No one's close to a curse. Tributes could be risky because the first team that gets wiped just is going to lose most likely. Here it is. They're going to come out. They're going to hit this boss, but of course the Junkrat's going to have vision of this. And we'll see how Heavy Hitterz responds because it would take about 15 seconds to rotate across the map. They're not going to be able to get that in time. They're definitely not going to be able to get the objective and that at the same time. Even with the Artanis blind coming out, it's not going to be enough. And they're just going to go for the keep. They're going to try to base race this. While you're getting boss, they said, we'll get keep, potentially core, because the boss that you're getting does still have to go through core and a keep. And we are already going to be able to get through keep shortly after you pick that up. Maybe? The keep? Alright, keep will fall.
Yeah, I was gonna
now
say,
they can disengage.
No
they have the extra
here.
cata pressure to match now. And they can go defend this boss. And that boss isn't going to get a minion wave because of the siege camp that came out earlier from Heavy Hitterz that Durotan's Couch has been unable to get now. But instead the teams are going to fight over for this vision point. There's going to come a Durance of Hate right after a tether, but the Durance is going to sleep there onto ETC. He's very low. 40. Their Death March is going to come out, but no one's there to get hit by it. And Hogger are going to go ahead and finish that quest as well. We'll pull this up real quick so people can see this as we're chasing here. In fact, no one quite getting chased too much, but the boss there in the top lane already halfway through. More than halfway through on this keep. About 2 more arrows. 1, 2, it's 3. It barely needed that third. But at 80% HP, it could potentially, and I expect it to do core damage. Ace is moving in here through the bottom keep.
Durotan's looking like they're trying to end off of this boss. They have the time. ETC's dead, which is the biggest threat.
Mephisto the tether there onto the Mephisto.
Right
big
here.
damage there. No one quite being hit by the curse from the core. The spin out there from Wildcard though. He's going to get him low. He's going to go down. There's the rewind onto the Mephisto. He's going to get low as well. But it doesn't matter. The boss is still alive, and so is Ace there flipping around. Ektar and Wedge. And game 2 will also go over to Durotan's Couch as they put themselves up for match point on the Division B Grand Finals.
That game was a lot closer than it looks. I feel like Durotan's throughout the game kind of just looked like they were ahead even while they were dying a bunch. They were taking some bad engagements. But they still looked like they were the very dominant team for the majority of the game. But all it would take is one little slip up throughout that whole game, and Heavy Hitterz would have been miles ahead as well. There were times when Durotan's played very safe, and it was to their advantage. There were times when they played a little bit aggressive, and that was to their advantage. Same thing either way. It just ended up adding up just enough for them in the end. Their card definitely took a lot of the brunt end of the damage. A lot of the kills were onto him as he just would get CC chained and be unable to spin out or use his ult.
I would like to give a shout out there to K-Star with the no death of the game while also pumping out 141,000 healing, which is quite impressive. But really, I feel like the other set that really is worth mentioning is that Hogger and Maev soaked so much XP. They outsoaked everyone on the side of Heavy Hitterz, but Heavy Hitterz, all 5 of them, outsoaked the other 3 members of Durotan's Couch at the same time.
I'm just gonna shout out Ace there without that no soak. What's he doing? Come on now. Gotta expect more out of your Ana.
Now we're going to Braxis Outpost next. And I gotta say, this could be a very interesting map. One, it's a fantastic hammer map. Just throwing that out there. But we could see a 2-3 split. We could see a 1-3-1 split with a roaming 3-man with 2 anchors, kind of like how some teams approach Dragonshire. You can kind of do that on this map as well. Or we could just see the tried and true 1-4 split. Brightwing could get a lot of value here because she can really offset that balance in the top lane by Zing in while they're 1v1ing for the top objective. Volstead can kind of do a similar thing. Medivh can portal teams around super fast on this map if any team wants to go for that. Any stealthies kind of get a little extra value because of the roaming here not being seen. Sometimes they can kind of slip away from the bot lane and get to top lane very quickly.
Now, I think we're going to see a Mephisto ban as well here. It's just a very good Mephisto map. We did see that Xanthanarium. I didn't say that right, but I think whatever. We gave it our best. He was very comfortable on the Mephisto, even though it was Q build, which is a little bit slightly out meta. It's still really good. It still does a ton of damage. It can still pump out those kills very quickly, as we saw in the late game there with the Chromie just disappearing, the Hogger, the Maiev just all gone. So we might see that as a ban. Most likely we'll see a Cho'Gall ban as well if they're really scared of it. It is just a good annoying Cho'Gall map because you're just stuck brawling into him. Let's see. They got 2 games on Braxis as heavy hitters, and they have Deathwing in one of them as their off lane. The other is Artanis, ETC as their tank. Both games had Mephisto. So yeah, I'll say definitely a Mephisto ban, and then the other one's just whatever they don't feel like running into, whether it be like a Junkrat, Sylve, Cho'Gall, Brightwing, Anduin, something like that.
You were talked about Cho'Gall, which used to be like super meta on this map because of how snowball you could just get with having. He used to be much more of an earlier game hero than he is now, where he needs a lot more scaling.
Don't remind me.
So he used to be able to snowball. I used to be on a team that we had a married couple that played Cho'Gall together. Super romantic goals, honestly. And we'd run it all the time on this map. That was the only time I ever really super enjoyed playing this map. Because it can be quite snowbally at times.
You didn't
The
enjoy
other thing,
our
though,
comp on this
is
map? I'm offended.
it was okay. The other hero that I wanted to bring up, though, specifically about this map, is Mei can get a lot more value on this map than a lot of other maps because you're fighting for an objective point that is the same size as her Blizzard. But we're going to go ahead and see what heavy hitters and Durotan's Couch want on Game 3 of Division B Grand Finals, Braxis Outpost.
Let's see. Now, heavy hitters did pick the map, so that's important to note. They had some sort of plan going into this. They have some sort of idea, whether it be some sort of like weird kind of cheese strat, or they're just like, okay, we think we can outplay them. Only time will tell. We can't really see that yet. First ban-wise, let's see what Durotan's decides they're going to look at.
So this is going to be really fun because they picked the area map. This isn't the actual map.
Oh, nice.
Do you want to whisper someone's before we get too far in this draft?
I will. Where's Ektar?
I just double checked because I was like, someone in chat questioned why this was Outpost, not Holdout. And I quickly looked it up. But yeah, we're on the wrong map.
There.
So we're gonna go ahead and remake the lobby. No bans were done, so there's nothing to redo. We just have to quickly remake the lobby on the correct actual map. Unfortunately, Braxis Outpost isn't quite a legal NGS map just yet. Maybe next season people will vote it in. Right after they voted
there
in
was
Warhead
3 of
Junction.
the board in that game. What are they going to do? Tell them no?
I mean, fair enough. But honestly, legalize Warhead, legalize Blackheart's Bay, legalize ARAM. Let's go. Just not Haunted Mines. The map has too many bugs. It's not competitively viable.
That's what you think.
I mean, fair enough. But who am I to say?
You're the one that likes Warhead and Blackheart's Bay, so I feel like you
Well,
lack
all
the
right. To be fair,
competitive
I only
viable.
like Blackheart's Bay in a 5v5 competitive style. I don't care for it outside of that. But I do think Warhead is a great map. Best map. Really tests individual skill the most. We're on the right map now. So we're going to go ahead and I believe they're going to be launching this in a second. Yep. So they're joking about having the wrong map. Both teams are ready. But it's probably doing that internal countdown does. And there it is. Brax's holdout. The correct map that's in the NGS map pool. You think the 3 board members would know what map they're supposed to be on. Remember, we have the store and a Patreon, as Ektar puts those commands in the chat. Which was a lot easier than telling you to go to the NGS announcement page. But you should go to the NGS announcement channel in Discord and make sure you are informed of all the announcements going on in NGS.
And while Majesty goes on that rant, we see a Cho'Gall ban because Durotan's is like, I don't want to deal with it. And I can't say I blame him. I said, heavy hitters pick the map. They haven't played Cho'Gall here this season at least, but you never know.
We see the Stukov ban once again. Maybe instead of double ban against Wedge, we'll see double ban against Ektar. There's the Mephisto ban that you called, so nice job on predicting that. He did put in quite the work there last game, and they may not get Chromia this time around to help counteract it. And the ban from heavy hitters, they probably don't need to ban the Dahaka this time around. A little bit less value on this map, potentially. Maybe the Hogger ban if they really focus Wedge, or the Blaze. They're gonna go ahead and ban out Aces Maev. Can't blame them there either. Aces Maev, infamous throughout the halls of NGS.
Yeah, he's just a very good Maev. I would be very shocked if we don't see an early Johanna here. Again, it's just still one of the Wedge is very good on that hero. It just creates a lot of space for the backline to do kind of whatever they want to do. I'd be very surprised. The only other thing maybe would be like an Anduin first pick, but no, it's going to be that Johanna lock-in. Just give them all the space they need to make things happen.
3 games of Durotan's couch first pick, 3 games with Johanna first pick. Brightwing for K-Star and Garrosh coming out once again. K-Star's infamous Brightwing going to be added to the Anvil's legendary heroes for NGS. Essentially.
Now, I feel like an Anduin here would be very good for Durotan's. It would just give them a pull for that Garrosh throw, and the extra root, the extra CC.
And Lightwell.
And Lightwell,
good
yeah,
sustain
exactly.
Lightwell. There's going to be the Dahaka, and
Ooh,
we're going to see Aces
Alarak.
Alarak coming out. The High Lord himself making an appearance in this series, gracing us with his presence, though he's known better healers than Ektar.
Incredible.
Thank you. Here's the end of
The end.
that you talked about.
This should be a Zarya ban here.
Yeah, Zarya ban would make a lot of sense. Because if they don't ban Zarya, they could easily go like Zarya and Vala or Savanas.
Even Junkrat would be really good because of the Junkrat into the trap, into the Brightwing poly.
It's a lot of CC, but I feel like it might lag a little bit of damage. They could just go C-Smash Varian plus someone.
Well, you don't need the damage that way. You just knock them into the towers, and the towers are your damage.
Considering the fact that they have Alarak, the Zarya ban makes a lot of extra sense. Get rid of that extra sustain damage, or extra sustain from the shielding. There's going to be the Rhaegar coming out there, and it's actually 8-Monkey on that, who's been offlaning so far. So this
Now,
might
they
be an
have
offlane
done this
Rhaegar?
once. They've done this once before on another map. Let me find when this one happened. I think it was this one.
And
Yes,
there's
they
the
played it in the
Gazlo.
offlane on Towers of Doom, and they had Gazlo in the 4-man.
Alright. So it's offlane Rhaegar into Dahaka with Gazlo in the form. I'm intrigued to see how this ends up working out. I think they're 5-man. Their 5v5 I think already is just better than anything Durotan's Couch can get because of their wombo combo and all that healing. But let's see what the counter picks from Durotan's Couch is. It's going to be the Zagara and the White Mane, which personally I feel like might be the strongest healer right now in terms of just actual healing output, but without significant extra utility that other healers bring. She tends to not be picked. Also, she's kind of difficult to play. We'll have to see how good Ektar is at managing his mana on her.
Now, Ektar is a very good white main in general. It becomes a little bit of a different matchup into the Garrosh because you can no longer sit and W or use your ally version of it as safely. So we'll see if he gets punished for that. But like I said, he's very good at white main, so I imagine he'll do just fine in this setup.
We have Cassia getting picked up there for heavy hitters. Very good, honestly. One of, if not the strongest level 1 DPSs in the game. Their entire kit's there, kind of works together very well. Let's see how this plays out. We have Heavy Hitters versus Durotan's Couch, Division B Grand Finals. Match point potentially Durotan's Couch, or will Heavy Hitters be able to pull around the reverse sweep in this game of 5? As we have, once again, Tezzopako on Garrosh, K-Star on his Brightwing, A-Monkey playing Rhaegar, Gecko on Gazlo, and Xeranthium on Cassia.
And on the other side, we got Johanna played by Captain Wedge, Zagara is going to be played by Afish, Ektar will be on white main, Wildcard on Dahaka, which is, again, one of his favorite heroes that we saw earlier, and Ace will be pulling his High Lord. He will be going top. He will be taking auto attack build. He will be on Alarak.
The legendary roaming Dahaka. If he goes race car, he could just run from lane to lane, helping get picks. It'd be fun to watch. It'd be something different.
No, it does look like it is going to be 4-man Rhaegar. They're not going super crazy like they did that one time, but we'll see here. Looks like they might be looking just for the early kill on the Gazlo, catch him unaware. Ektar is AFK, never mind, he's back.
We'll have to see how this plays out because Durotan's Scouts just have a lot of scaling, but it could potentially be a little bit weaker in the early game. Cassia very strong in the early game, Zagara not as much. But there's the throw onto Johanna, quite a bit of damage coming out, but the shielding most of it, and actually Garrosh, he walks away with the least amount of HP, but he does have the double healer, become a globe, it's going to go right back to full anyways. In the top lane, meanwhile, we do see the Gazlo going to take quite a bit of damage there from this duo that's coming up here, forcing the Brightwing Z out. And then just right to full. He's just keeping vision in that bush with his turns. Very good play from him. But Wildcard is going to walk over and clear that out.
Now, I'm wondering if Ace is going to just sit up till they get the kill on the Gazlo or get him low enough, or if he's just going to play the whole game top from here. You do have very good clear out of Durotans between the Zagara and the Johanna, so you don't necessarily need him down there. Into the double support comp, you don't have the highest like hyper carry push hero in the Cassia. So they might just be saying, okay, we can just clear the wave safely. We'll just keep killing. Well, there's the Brightwing Z gonna save him once again, help keep the Gazlo alive. But Ace might just sit up there for the rest of this game just to keep the pressure on. Keep Gazlo from having an easy time. Keep the Brightwing up here if they can as well.
Ace is actually going to rotate now that they forced another Brightwing Z out and head down right as the objective spawn. His charge strikes out of Cassia, so having these two melee down here now might work against them. As there's the throw onto Johanna once again, but it's going to be the telekinesis there onto the Rhaegar trying to turn around on a monkey. But he's going to run away with about a third HP. Garrosh still sitting at half. Cassia is taking only a little bit of damage, but the people on the side of Durotan's Couch are extremely healthy right now.
Now, they did just get the Brightwing Z to the bot lane onto the Garrosh there. So Alarak's going right back up, and he accidentally clicked the camp, but he's coming at the Gazlo.
We're going to see Tongue. Will the Tongue land? The Tongue's going to land onto Gazlo. This could spell the reason he dies, but the telekinesis from Ace is just going to pull himself back, and he's going to walk away with 100 HP. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, it looks like we potentially had a throw there, but Garrosh was able to get out after taking quite a bit of damage, and White Mane healing, just showing how strong it is, keeping up with the two healers on the side of Heavy Hitters. We'll show those healing numbers right now real quick. We'll go back to showing talents as the Brightwing Z going to go there onto the Cassia, helping him out. Garrosh is going to throw in the 8-fish there on the Zagara. The Fen coming out from Cassia, but she's going to break it a little bit early. Here's the dig in from the Dahaka is going to get the tongue there onto Cassia. There's the cleanse coming out from the Rhaegar onto her, and there's going to be the ally throw away from Garrosh. And Garrosh might pay for that. He's getting low. He's at 140 right now, but he does have a ton of armor. 71 spell armor, in fact, from the aid of that Brightwing. And they're going to walk away now as level 4s come out for both teams. And we once again see the Envenom Swine, which I like because it's going to push that damage a little bit extra over the edge. The silence there from Ace onto the Garrosh is going to put him low, but he's going to get thrown into the Polymorph. But here comes the healing from the White Mane, almost fully healing him right again. It's basically an Ancestral that came out there. I'm going to miss the Telekinesis Q combo there from Ace as he actually pulls the Cassie behind him. There comes the damage from Cassie, though, a little bit stacking up. Meanwhile, Gazlo is going to go ahead and cap that top, and we're going to get some percentage going once again for Heavy Hitters for taking early lead on the objective. Garrosh is searching for a throw here onto Zagara, but Johanna's just going to walk past him with the help of Ace, and they're going to go for the Cassia. There's the throw away onto the Alarak from the Garrosh to try to create some space as they're getting poked out here a little bit, but the double support is going to keep them in this. The silence coming out from Rhaegar, but they're running low on the side of mana, but it doesn't matter. They were able to force the objectives to finish, and the ally throw is going to get Cassia out, and no one's going to die, but Heavy Hitters will get the first wave.
Now, Durotan's clear isn't the greatest, especially without the Zagara up there. But they're going to have to... Okay, they are sending her up now. It looks like they might be looking up for a gank on this Gazlo. They're playing out of vision. Nope, they're swinging back around. So it's just a matter of time until this wave gets cleared. It will probably get the wall and half the fort, I would say, looking at what's remaining here.
They don't have anyone bot lane to defend, and now that their Zerg wave is gone, Heavy Hitters is going to push it and hit that bottom wall, which setting themselves up for the second objective that even if they can't finish it, could still do extra damage because of that wall already being gone.
Now,
And
Ace
now
is
Dahaka's
also
up.
snacking on Show of Force. So as the game goes on, the longer it goes, the more sadism you will quickly see them get. So these people that are just barely surviving 2 HP, or that 20 HP like threshold, it's going to go down to 10, it's going to go down to 5, then it's going to not exist. Now that tongue onto the Rhaegar was really good. He's not going to get punished. Ooh, with that run back, he might. Nope, the ally throw to save him.
That was all the defensive cooldowns, and now Dahaka could look for a tongue on someone else, but not quite able to. Didn't quite have level 7 yet to get the auto attack CDR on tongue. If he ends up going that, he does. Which is good. I think that talent's really strong. Telekinesis is going to get hindered motion there from Alarak. Going to slow after that drag. And there's going to be the throw onto Johanna, but just immediately into the sub pool. Here comes the Dahaka once again. Meanwhile, we do have Alarak versus Gazlo farther up by the Bruiser camp. Ace is coming in, but he's a little low. He's not going to be able to really join this fight as Heavy Hitters is going to be able to disengage. And they've shown that they're very good at doing that at times. They're able to just look for these super aggressive camp invades and then just disengage out of them without losing anyone. Which could come to play as the reason they could end up winning this series. We'll have to see going forward.
Heavy Hitters is looking in a real good spot this game, and they're looking like they have a lot of control on the map with their double support comp. The Alarak isn't quite getting the value that you would really want it to, but that's just because of double support. Into a Garrosh, which has his own armor, plus the Brightwing extra spell armor. Alarak's going to have trouble ever kind of locking him down until we get later into the game. But that's when Zagara is going to kick off as well. So at this point, it's just trying to survive for Durotans until you hit those bigger talents, until the Garrosh is no longer able to just survive. Now, they are looking to gank the Gazlo once again. But we'll see if they can get value here. But they'll see him as soon as he steps in Raven Vision. It's a combo miss, so...
Just go ahead and clear that camp out. Meanwhile, they are setting up here in the bot lane. He's trying to run through. There's going to be the throw into 8-fish there. 8-fish is going to get destroyed by the Cassia Fen, showing why she has so much damage in the early game. It's because that Fend talent plus, or just Fend, let alone she went the talent for it, plus a blind that she can throw out, doing that crit damage. It puts her as one of the highest, if not the highest, early game DPS burst that you can get for one talent or less because of how strong it is. And we see them diving this tower. They're able to sustain through that because of the double healer. Wildcard's now here. He's able to dig in, leaving Ace in the top lane there to deal with Gazlo for right now. Tongue's going to unfortunately miss. He's going to dig down underground to avoid being thrown by Garrosh, and that was well played on his side to not get thrown in more. Ace is going to land quite a bit of damage here onto Gazlo, but isn't going to be able to do much. Meanwhile, here in the bot lane, these teams are still going back and forth. Here comes the 10s, though, 4 heavy hitters that are immediately going to run in. We once again see the Decimate coming in. He's going to be able to throw slows. Here comes the Bloodlust that you had talked about. White Mane getting quite a bit away from her own team is unfortunately going to fall because of that. The one I did not expect to see here come out, though, in terms of ults from heavy hitters, was the Gazlo going Robo Goblin. Because with his talents, I really felt like he was setting up for the Gravel Ball combo. We're going to go ahead and see what Durotan's Couch picked up now. We, of course, see the wall once again. We like to see that it's good against the Garrosh if he wants to try to go on top. We also see Divine Reckoning, which I think is the better White Mane. No, we see Counter Strike plus Shield this time. We did not go back to the Unstoppable from Falling Sword. We see the Isolation coming out from Dahaka there onto the Garrosh. But now they're going to go ahead and throw Captain Wedge in. He doesn't have the Unstoppable to get out just yet. The Maul's going to go onto Cassia. There's going to be a tongue onto Rhaegar at the same time. They're just going to be forced to cleanse out. And now they're going to be able to turn here onto the Cassia. But the Cassia's going to be able to walk away because they didn't have cooldowns to punch that. White Mane's going to get a little bit more healing here. Wedge is going to back to get the mana. And Ace is doing a good job of keeping them into this game right now by keeping control of this top point so strongly. Wildcard's going to go ahead and take the time to get this camp here. There's going to be the Brightwing Z. It looks like both teams are going to make a play here. As we actually see a Vade coming out on this top camp here from the side of heavy hitters. There's going to become the Valkyrie clips the wall. Captain Wedge is going to run in. And both teams go ahead and position here as they go ahead and fight. It looks like Durotan Couch is going to rotate away, maybe try to go get bottom point. A fish there really making that rotation. But there's the Dahaka tongue onto the Garrosh. But there goes the stun onto Dahaka from the Gazlo. The Isolation is going to come out and both teams are going to walk away.
Now, Fish is in a lot of danger here. I think he's going to die no matter what. Unless, well, Durotan is running at them from the backside to make sure he can get out. He's just got to keep walking here because that is what the Garrosh is going to do to him.
The creep movement speed matching the Brightwing movement speed from her E, able to keep him ahead of the Garrosh so he didn't get thrown, but that was a close one coming out from him. It's a good thing he already had that down. Now we see both teams looking for here, maybe a potential camp invade coming out of heavy hitters here onto this siege camp. But they really want to get channel going here on the objective once again. As it ticks to 42, but Captain Wedge is already setting up. Ace sees them coming, but here comes the Valkyrie going there onto Ace, and it's going to put him into a dangerous spot. He's going to be able to counter-strike it now, but it's going to end in time for the Gazlo to come out, and that's going to finish off Ace, losing all of his sadism. There goes the Maul onto the Garrosh, but also blocking off anyone else from coming here, leaving Gecko alone, but they're unable to turn, and that's going to let heavy hitters not only get the point back, but go for the Bruiser camp invade.
And you can tell heavy hitters is definitely in their element here. They are just doing super aggressive rotations. Every single one has been on Durotan's Couch's side of the map for the last probably 3 or 4 minutes at this point. So they've just been running, and it's paying off for them this time. The last couple games it hasn't quite gone well, but this time they're finally being able to put it together, and it's paying off for them. Now we are just seeing the ring around the Rosie on the objective point as well. Card will probably get caught here. Most likely he's going to die.
This may keep him slow, but there's going to be the Isolation on the Cassie, but she can still see him because they're so close together, and the rest of heavy hitters being there, and he's unable to get out. But meanwhile, Captain Wedge was able to recapture top, once again delaying this objective, maybe giving him time to respawn. As it does look like very soon we're going to see this objective go over to the side of heavy hitters.
Now this is a full one running right at the keep wall. Durotan should have 13 shortly after the objective. But it looks like they're going to lose top fort as well, unless they're looking to defend it. Let's see here. They are sending a big rotation right into like a Garrosh that was anchoring for the Gazlo really nicely. They were ready for that. Ace misses combo there. Pulls through himself.
Z coming up, they're going to throw Ace and then get the polymorph once again. Stand through him there on the Cassius, rotating around. They're going to be able to find Ace, but can they get him? Ooh, he dodges the Valkyrie with the telekinesis this time. As there's the large knockup coming out from Garrosh, and they're going to be able to walk away. The one thing they have to really watch for right now is Brightwing's 13 is the 50% movement speed boost now on the spell shield, giving Garrosh basically the Zarya shield movement speed. Once again, a little bit shorter duration, I believe, is the caveat there. And now he's going to be able to run at them. And the creep for Zagara is not going to be enough to keep her safe anymore. We We do already see 8-fish tapping because Zagara can be very mana hungry at times. But this entire Zerg wave only got the wall, but it is going to give Gazlo the space. He should be able to finish this up pretty quickly here. The Robo-Goblin giving him that extra auto attack damage that he needs. That last turret not quite in range to hit the tower though, but it doesn't matter. Board's gone.
The Durotans is in the awkward spot of Brax's holdout where you just don't have any forts. The enemy team has both of theirs. You're really just kind of trying to get 16, but there's no easy, safe way to get it, especially into the comp of heavy hitters. As you can see, heavy hitters are just running across the map, just trying to find anybody that they can.
Makes it a little bit harder when Johanna's the only one that you can see. So they're going to try to potentially force a fight by just starting the boss. Make it difficult to leash the Ace finding the garage there, but it doesn't really matter. They don't seem to understand, or if they do understand, they're unable to make the play now. They're going to scout out. The heavy hitters is on the boss. They're going to go ahead. There comes the immediate bloodlust, and the Ace is going to be thrown away here. They're trying to run to get on the point. Dahak is able to get there. Here comes the white mate ult on top of it. There's the Maul, but can he get enough space to stay on it? He couldn't, because Cassie was able to also stay on it. Meanwhile, Garrosh goes down. Now they're able to turn on to the rest of the players that were inside of the Maul coming out from 8-fish. It was huge damage. There goes the isolation there onto the Gazlo, and then it's going to be the Cassie next. They're going to be able to slow down Kesar there with the Ace's telekinesis, now the Condemn, and the Punish coming out from Johanna, and that's going to be a team wipe in favor of Durotan's Couch. Really starting to turn around the momentum of the game by sniffing out that boss and able to get on top of it as quickly as they did. Dahak is going to have to go deal with the Bruiser camp the heavy hitters picked up earlier, but this is going to leave 8-fish, Captain Wedge, and Ektar to push with the boss while Ace clears up the minions that are left behind it, the boss's lane. And then the objective spawns in 25 seconds, but heavy hitters will be back up before then, but without Bloodlust.
Now, those point fights that we just saw there are very hard to take. But between Maw and White Main ult, what is it, Divine Reckoning? Yes. You're just going to survive forever. You're going to take people off the point. Now, Wedge does need to be careful here. He can get punished. Ektar will struggle to put enough healing into him. And it does look like Wedge will get punished. He doesn't have trade up. So, little rough there. Kind of sets back the momentum they just gained. Durotans should probably look to try to maybe grab one of the camps. Top camp would be the safe one here, just to help give them that little bit of pressure until they get Captain Wedge back up on that Johanna.
Do have 16s out for both sides, and that of course means 8-fish now has his percentage damage, and that of course means the Garrosh is going to be an extra damage because Brightwing's spell shield, which has been keeping Garrosh alive so much with giving him that stacking armor, with him being the only hero left in the game that can stack armor, less value because now you have a non-spell damage ability coming through that's doing percent damage. That's going to be able to shred him down. And he's at 11 stacks on the level 7 on Zagara as well, which is going to give him an extra Roachling for that extra 1.75% per auto attack on top of the flat DPS it already does. Him being out alone like this right now that we see can be extremely dangerous. He doesn't have Indom. This is going to be the Brightwing Z coming in on after he gets tongued, but it's not going to matter. His isolation is going to come keep him from bringing all press W, which is what he talented into so hard on the Garrosh, and it's just, once you're silenced though, you're not able to press those abilities.
And that gives a lot of momentum back. It's not like Heavy Hitters has that second tank, has any sort of like offlaner outside of Gazlo. So they have to play safer than Durotans even did with having the Dahaka. Now, Ace missing the combo there means Gazlo will definitely walk away, be alive just fine. But they're just playing the objective, just playing the waves at this point. So it'll be a huge plus for them. They do have to defend top. It should be able to get the keep because it's got 2 Ultras and 2 of the old Queen models going on.
Ace waiting until he has his cooldowns there to go on the Cassie. They're going to put in all the damage they can, but the Ring Machine going to come out, and the double support showing the value of its ability to sustain someone in a fight by keeping Cassie alive on top of her own armor value. But there's going to be the Zerg wave coming out now for Durotan's Couch. They're going to be back up, wait for that wave to come in. Meanwhile, Dahaka is going to be able to clear out top and then dig in later as they go ahead and potentially look to end the game. Zagar is actually going to go top right now too, really putting a lot of emphasis on trying to get as quick of a clear as they can. This is going to leave Ace, Ektar, and Captain Wedge here to push with this wave to see if they can get anything. They're going to catch Gekku out. Of course, Robo-Goblin giving that unstoppable. They're actually almost through the Banelings, which is a huge portion of the initial upfront damage of the Zerg wave. Now they have to rely on a consistent spawn rate coming out from the Ultralisk as it spawns more Zerglings that could really help snowball this push in as we sometimes see that pressure going on. Dahaka is going to go ahead and dig in now. They're not going to have Zagara still, which is a huge amount of their damage into the Garrosh specifically, and it actually limits their ability to do range damage without him there.
Now, Fish also does not have Medusa's Blade, a fish up top, so he's having a harder time clearing this wave. He's actually almost dying to it, just because those Hydralisks do so much damage.
That's the Durotan's couch here now, going to be able to finish cleaning that up. And that's going to spawn the camps back on the map, including the boss. What's the spawn timer on this? Has it been 5 minutes since the boss fight? I guess so. We did a little bit of dancing around.
Close, yeah. Because that was right around 11 or 12 minutes.
And with that, the last of the Zerg wave is destroyed. And Heavy Hitters looking at the boss. Are they going to immediately rush it? No, they're going to walk past it. They're looking for the siege camp invade. They're walking around. It looks like they're going to go the long way. But Ace anchoring there is going to spot him out. And now they're going to go for the Garrosh silence. Do they have any other follow-up? Not quite yet, but it does force the Bright Wizarding pretty early on, and that might force Heavy Hitters to back off, not having that important cooldown to keep
it doesn't look like they are, though. It looks like they're just going forward still, so they're still just trying to put all the aggression on, trying to keep control of the game. They like we talked about, they did lose a little bit with those deaths on the boss, but they're trying to bring it back. What is getting very close to his backline, which also means Tezo Paco is not far behind on that Garrosh.
See the Zagara minions just chunky him though. Wildcard not quite getting the tongue there onto him, as now Heavy Hitters will decide that it's time to back off, having ran out of a lot of their cooldowns. They will now go ahead and grab their own camps, and then maybe potentially return to the Durotan couch side of the map, where they seem to have tried to make themselves at home.
Durotan's is approaching level 20. These camps should get it, so they have one last chance from Heavy Hitters, and it looks like they're going to try to take it. They're coming right at it. You got Gazzo collapsing from above next to Wildcard. Here is going to be 20 in just about 2 seconds or so. There we are. And then Heavy Hitters just has to back off. They're not even 19, not far away from it, but they've got a long way to go to get 20 and equal this game back out.
They're still taking a rather aggressive position for defense. Cassie here in trouble, but Blessed Shield does miss. Can she dodge the tongue? She dodges the tongue. She's free to go. And now, in fact, they have to watch out, because now...
But that's a huge contagion on the back line. 3 people.
Bloodlust comes out. Garrosh waiting for that vision to run out, and then they're going to run in. The White Main ulti comes out, but there's the Maul into 2. They're able to turn to the Rhaegar. Meanwhile, there's going to be the drag there onto the Brightwing, keeping the healing down. There is a lot of damage coming out. The Ace doing pumping out quite a bit there with the 173 sadism that he has. 176 now with that last kill pickup. And that smells like game, and potentially the end of Division B Grand Finals of this best of 5.
It looked pretty good there. That Maw was pretty clutch. Garrosh managed to get onto the backside, but didn't quite work out for them, with that Maw stopping him from doing anything more. And yep, this is just going to be game. Durotan's couch will be the Division B Grand Finalists. They will take the W.
GG's coming out in chat already as they're pushing forward here for the score. 60%. 49. We skipped over the number 50 as these teams will go ahead and close that out, and we will see. Oh, wrong button. It wasn't meant to change screens. We still got to show stats. But with that, I am pleased to present to you for the first time the NGS Season 13 Division B Grand Champions, Durotan's Couch. Congratulations to that team. See, Fish topped the damage that time around. The Haka and Zagara pumping out the siege damage for Durotan's Couch. In fact, let's go ahead and try to get set up with an interview with the winning team here, and see what's going on in their heads. I guess I should actually message them.
I sent Ektar a message already. They will probably come as all 5. So there's Ektar. Yeah, here they are.
and welcome, one and all, the Division B Grand Champions, Durotan's Couch. Round of applause. Yay!
The excitement, yeah,
Breathe now?
absolute excitement.
Yeah, unclenching currently.
Uh,
Frick, Braxis, that's a map, eh? God, that's terrifying.
well, let's not talk about Brexis just yet, because before that there were two other maps.
I'm not
So
convinced.
let's start with the worst map in the map pool, Infernal Shrines.
Shut up, Majesty. No, we're not here for the director's commentary.
That's what a caster is. It's
Yeah, they're
director's
here to run the show.
commentary.
This is their show now. They won, not us. So
I mean, I could just turn
No,
off the
no, we
stream.
need your direction. We do not know how to shock hole this part.
all right. Infernal Shrines. What happened on that map? Does anyone remember? There was huge blaze
That was
stunts.
speed barrier. That was speed barrier Garrosh, which we
Yes.
scouted and was very, very scary to.
I
have to
died a
play
lot.
They found the
Uh,
tasty Zagara meat.
Heavy Hitters does a lot of things well, and they do one thing exceptionally well, and that is get kills with kill one enemy team member with their 5-man. If we don't let them get those kills, and we're able to get value with our one-person split out, we're in a good position, which mostly worked. They did get a couple of really juicy kills, which made it harder for us to do things, but they gave up so much with leaving Soak in mid, and especially in top lane, that we were able to eke out small advantages over time, which let us eventually win.
now speaking to that draft, I've got a quick question. So we obviously Ace and Ektar, we were all on a call last night, kind of going over a lot of this. In that Infernal Shrines game, when they didn't pick a traditional offlaner, as in they didn't pick any offlaner, what were your guys' thoughts? Because I personally was very surprised by it still. I still thought they were going to take another sort of bruiser or something to help it, not just go full in on those damage dealers.
We were a little bit surprised. We were a little surprised, but not unprepared. We saw that they've done almost exactly that same comp in previous games, so we knew what they were going to try for, and we just had to again not let them get it. And I think we did a generally pretty good job.
Do you feel like you guys cheated at all by getting a Frozen Punisher for the first Punisher?
Cheated, no, but RNGesus is real, and I believe.
Alright, let's move on to Game 2, where we played on a different map.
Real
We,
quick,
mean
I
you
want to.
guys. Yeah, if you
I
want
want to put. I want to put an MVP play to wild card on the Blaze for that. What is it? Level 14-ish fight where they were where Garrosh dove deep under our back towers or our mid fort.
Yes, and he
We
got
lost-
Fish there, and Fish was probably
Yep,
depressed.
a
again.
fish died, and then wild card landed a 3-man stun that turned that fight so massively in our favor. Shout out to him picking the Blaze in draft and then just being there. Yeah, it was fantastic. That I think was the big turning point there because it was very even before that.
Yeah, it definitely swung things back in your favor there.
Mhm.
Definitely put you well in the lead, pushing through the rest of that game.
Yeah, they were crushing it in kills. Like we had the what's called the structure advantage to sort of hold on to, but like that was what we needed to actually have to build up the momentum to take it home.
Yeah, I was watching the XP, and Card, I think at that point was like 15k XP soaked, and the next closest was I think 8k, and it was one of them. So, Wildcard, you were definitely putting in work to get the soak stay even in the levels there, while everybody else was just kind of getting killed by the Garrosh Zarya comp.
They made it easy with the 5-man death ball. Made it so I could just go to all soak lanes and be like, this is fine.
There be XP in them minions.
Ain't much, but it's honest work.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's move on to Cursed Hollow, the next map. You guys doing quite a bit of macro there, and of course Ace getting his legendary Maiev. Why don't you guys walk us through your mindset in your draft for that game? Kind of what were you guys going into there? Did you get the comp that you were looking for, I guess we should start with?
I mean, there's no more playoff matches at this point, so yeah, the whole plan was just get Johanna first pick, and then if not, then we'll like pivot to a whole bunch of other threats. But it's like we can build so many different directions off of the Johanna. Like we can go into Aces, super aggressive and super clutch Maev. We can go into like some more fancy things with Fish, with like the Zagara and stuff. Like we got a lot of different directions that we can go and base off of that.
Now, in that game, there's also the transition on your Johanna wedge where you went from Falling Sword in game 1 to the next 2 games taking Blessed Shield. Was that because you felt it helped empower what Ace can do with the aggressive heroes like the Alarak and the Maev specifically in game 2, since that's the one we're talking about? Or did you feel you didn't really need the Falling Sword into their comp?
No, the Falling Sword was honestly like a full-on response to what they had in game 1, just for like the if the Zarya lands a Gravel Bomb, we're more or less toast. So we needed the big AoE cleanse to be able to have a chance, was our logic there. Otherwise, I normally do end up preferring the Blessed Shield just to have some more control for when people are in our actual phase.
So, 8fish. There was a point right shortly after you specifically got your ult. I don't think anyone else had their ult yet. And you guys went on ETC in the mid lane. He got a Brightwing Z. The Bruiser camps were colliding. He was trying to get away. And then you rewound the Brightwing. Were you aiming for the ETC? Was that a misclick, or were you trying to pick off the healer right before the objective spawn?
Oh, for sure. Everything I do is on purpose.
Ah, clever.
Every death to the Garrosh toss,
Yeah.
it was intentional.
It was
It
bait.
was late game scaling.
Yeah.
8fish just baiting all of the fights out.
He just wants to be that much more unassuming for when he can land a game-ending Maw.
It's true. There were several points where heavy hitters got bosses and were pushing into keep and stuff. Were there ever a point in that game that you guys started to be concerned about potentially losing it, or did you keep calm the whole time?
I don't think we were calm during most of that series, to be fair. It's like from negative 30 seconds to 0, that's where we're calm, and then stuff starts happening.
Relatively.
But yeah, I don't think that there was a, chest clench feeling of impending doom on that game. There were definitely times where we're behind and we need to work to come back, but it was never like, oh god, was that the mistake that made us lose the game? I don't think we ever got to that point.
And just to sort of go
On
with that, I
Praxis
think a big
holdout, however, I feel a little different.
Yeah, I think a big thing that was our defining strength outside of scouting was whenever we end up losing a team fight or losing an objective or losing something, we end up doing a really good job of making sure we mitigate that damage as much as possible. We're able to still respond in some other way, or to just make sure other people are able to survive enough to make the defense more impactful. That's been a big clutch play for us going through these playoffs here.
And then a final question for Kursal before we move on to Brax's. It was discussed before we got into draft on the different things that you could do on that map. Did Juice Pirates ever cross your guys' mind?
Not even once.
Never.
I don't remember.
But now I
that
wish
being
that it had.
So the exact discussion was Majesty had his dream of you Ektar playing Vikings and then you guys doing Vikings Hammer on that map. I said if we're off in La La Land, we might as well as include Juice Pirates in this mix.
I'm just saying they have the hero pool for both those comps.
I mean, if we so we want to coordinate a match with Die for Vision now, since they're friends of ours and they're the Div C Grand Champions. You might see something spicy like that there.
Alright, let's go
Alright,
ahead and move on to
draft
Braxis,
slate, take
as
notes.
chat is posting questions for you guys right now, and we want to make sure we have time to get to their questions. Braxis, Ace, there was a point where you died with a bunch of sadism. Why would you do
I had
that?
sadism? I never thought I
You ended
stacked
the game
any.
with 176.
Yeah, because we got two
you,
team fight wins.
You died at 154 and then
Never
got back to
lucky.
yeah, you got back to 176.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there a question involved with this?
I don't know.
Why did you let it
I'm
happen?
not sure where
Why'd you
Majesty
die?
was going.
That was my
Just-
question.
Why did you die, Forehead? Just don't die, Forehead.
Yeah.
Can't argue
Oops,
that.
I'm bad.
I knew
It's
it.
specifically because I counter-struck and then pushed myself the wrong direction. Because Alt W
Mhm.
pushes you in the direction you're facing, and apparently I was not facing the direction I thought, so I ended up going top right instead of bottom towards the team, and
I
that
think you right-clicked at the
sectioned me
last
off.
second because you were walking down, and then all of a sudden you just went up.
Yeah, so unlucky. But that build recovers sadism very quickly with Blade of the High Lord.
Alright, we can tie in one of the chat questions here. Ace, you were target banned quite a bit. How did you feel about that? And then Ektar, your Stukov was banned quite a bit as well. How did you feel about that?
If I want to take the egotistical answer, another day in NGS, smile. And if I want to take the reasonable answer, I'll say, yeah, we have to plan for that. We have to, we'll gladly take the heroes as given, but we need plans for not having the heroes. And it felt nice to be able to get those heroes that I've worked on in practice, but it's just kind of something you have to be ready for. It's part of the game.
So I got to play with Stukov in game 1, which I actually haven't been favoring. I thought he was overrated before the most recent Stukov nerf, and then they nerfed him, so I don't feel he is a generically good healer. I thought he was good for us in the first game, but having it banned out in games 2 and 3 just left our overall hero pool more open. Like I was probably never taking Stukov in either of those games.
That's
Alright.
always nice to hear. So, Fish,
Hmm?
after all these Zagara games, how do you feel about Zagara? You sick of the
He's
hero?
so
You in love with the hero?
boring. I don't do anything
What?
throughout the whole game.
Zagara
I
I feel like the
apologize.
first game I literally didn't even play.
I
I just
apologize
died to the
for
garage.
giving Ace and Ektar the idea that Zag is a good hero for the
Zag's a
hell and torture I've put you through now.
Hey, Fish, remind me, we owe you a Tracer game or a few Tracer games.
It's so boring. It's only
We'll
fun
give
when
you-
you take serrated spines, but then it's terrible.
Yeah, it's a terrible time.
We will give you plenty of Tracer games. Don't worry.
Alright, let's work our way through some of these other chat questions. You guys said that your whole plan...
Do we want to finish out talking about game 3 first, because we kind of haven't talked about it yet?
If you get more you want to talk about it, then yeah. Do you have something about that game you want to say?
Not in particular, but you had
Well,
asked questions about the previous two, so I thought we
I
might
mean,
want to finish that up
Majesty's
before
one
chat
question was why
questions.
Ace died. I mean, so my question is, what was the Ace at the beginning of the game? You guys had him sitting top with the Alarak and Wildcard. Was it to try to get a Gazlo kill and just bring him down? Was it just to force Gazlo out? Like, what was the overall goal there? Because obviously, anytime you got close to that kill, Brightwing would Z in, and all your hard work just went down the drain, basically.
Well, that was mostly what our plan was to just force the Brightwing Z and then rotate down faster to be able to get the 4v3 advantage down there.
Yeah, I don't
Especially if you use like, the
particularly.
Hawka port, but it wasn't something that we necessarily played well. I don't think that's not something that we executed, and I think they did a better job of like punishing us on that front.
Yeah, I specifically didn't think we could get any picks with double healer through the first couple levels of the game. So we decided just to force their hand and play it a little bit differently than what they would like. And force a Brightwing up and maybe try and, sneak a Gazlo kill if they have the chance, because I've got close a couple times, but we never had a kill denied by Brightwing. We just couldn't confirm one. One of which was because I missed an auto.
A couple combos in there too, but we won't talk about those.
I didn't play particularly well that last game for the first 16 levels.
Alright, so from there we'll jump into that boss. The only boss fight that
Yeah, I
happened.
forgot that happened.
What were your thoughts going into it? Because by the time you guys saw them on boss, it had maybe 5% HP
Ektar,
left.
take it away.
Oh, so
Because
I'm
that was kind of...
So
between
this-
the White Mane and the Zag, it was kind of a crazy situation of people just trying to stand on the edge of it.
So this is kind of a twofer, because Mad Hatter asked what each of them felt was their personal best moment of the series. This one's mine. We had the inkling that they were probably on boss, and I was calling repeatedly, we need to check boss, we can't let them get boss. Wedge said, "We can clear boss. We can let them have it." But the objective was coming up at the time. It was my opinion that if we let them get boss, we have to clear it. They get the objective. We fall too far behind to realistically recover from that. And my insistence won over Wedge's, and he flipped on the call and said, "Okay, go in on boss." We saw Garrosh had been zoning the whole time, so we had an inkling that that's what they were doing, is trying to just scare us away from it. We were able to run up and get on the boss. A huge maw took out, I think, at least half of their team's whole
It
damage.
took out
Three.
three of them because you
Yeah.
guys had Artanis in the back, and then the Cassia was the only
Yeah,
one. not in
Artanis
it.
was in the and Garrosh were into our back line, but I was able to get enough damage
mean
slash
Gaslow?
healing. Yeah, sorry. Their front
Whatever
line
hero,
is in our
yeah.
back. That's
Garrosh and Cassie are the only two not in it.
so like they do have a pretty good amount of damage, but Whitemane is one of the most crazy burst prevention heroes in the game if the team isn't going to move out of her thing. And they couldn't, because if they walked off of the point, then they just lost the boss and got put behind. And crazy maw, crazy team fight led to us really getting back in the game, because we were actually so far behind at that point.
Mhm.
And that really led the way to us getting to equalize some siege damage, getting an objective, and then crucially getting us most of the way to 16, where our big power spikes happened, which let us take later team fights into the game, which eventually ended up leading to our eventual victory there. But yeah, that's my personal best moment, yelling at Wedge and having him listen.
Yeah, because from our point of view, you guys were just kind of waffling back and forth. Like Majesty and I were talking, and we weren't sure if you guys realized. We're like, you guys are good enough players, you had to have realized. So we weren't really sure. So that kind of explains that as well.
Yeah, it wasn't. We weren't actually sure because we couldn't step up close enough until we committed to 5-man running towards it. If they weren't on boss and they were just taking their camps, that would have been really great for them, because their Garrosh bought so much room and we probably couldn't have killed him. And they just bought so much space with it, but they were on the boss. And then things played out as you saw.
Yeah, importantly, the Garrosh was comboed, and I don't think just once, not once, but twice through that, one for poke and one for damage in the team fight, and that didn't give them the capability to throw us off of the point. So we could always have somebody on, and then we had the Garrosh or the Johanna on, and then of course the Ma to help as well. So that was a big part of it as well. I feel as the Garrosh took a lot of damage throughout that, which let us have the capability to throw the damage where it needed to go.
I guess Madge had no questions for that map at all.
No, dude, I honestly can't remember any of the maps anymore.
Wow.
Me
Okay,
neither.
I'm
The
trying
Ektar
to think
strats.
of anything. That
we,
was all
we
you
still
guys.
do
I don't
have
think there
chat
was-
questions though.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything else off of that map I wanted to ask about. So.
All right. So you guys said that your whole plan hinged on Johanna. What would you have done if she was banned? Which you kind of answered a little bit earlier, but I don't know if you want to touch on that again.
Panic.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
I mean, a little bit, but also, if Johanna was banned, that meant that we had like lots of other options like open. Like that means, well, they haven't banned one of Ace's heroes, so we can look to pick that up early. We can look to pick up an early Anduin because they've been prioritizing Garrosh. If we just pull the person back right away, that's just a huge win. And there's also like that means there's a chance that the Dahaka is left up, which is another wildcard's biggest strength. So we have other threats that we felt like we'd be comfortable answering with. It's just Johanna's the most flexible one for us to open up with.
All right.
Yeah, we had some taunt variant strats in the tank. We had some
Icy Stitches.
Garrosh. We had Stitches in case we wanted to let their Cho'Gall through. That's obviously why we banned it, is because they played it 5 times, including twice in their B West finals. So they're obviously very comfortable with it. So we never wanted to give that to them. So we had backup plans, but obviously Joe is going to be our number one choice every game in 99% of scenarios.
It's the one tank where I die less on. Smile.
It's just the best tank in the game. So that does add up.
And the only one that Hector didn't take the time to answer in chat, because that's cheating. Which he already also answered. What did each of you guys feel was your personal best moment? We'll go in reverse alphabetical order, skipping Hector because he already answered. So we'll start with wildcard.
Yeah, very easily the moment Ace pointed out earlier, the 3-man stun with Blaze that was followed up by the silence pool from Ektar. It's like if it was felt like redemption to me for the overextension I had over the first objective where I completely missed my E. So I was like, yes, this is good.
Gotta make up for it.
Exactly.
Eat fish.
Hmm?
Your personal best moment that you feel like you had this series.
I don't really remember anything.
Can I nominate
a lot of the Maws?
Can I
Last
just
game was pretty
nominate
good.
all of the Maws in Game 3? The
Yeah.
boss Maw
Some
and
of
the
those
final
Maws were
fight Maw.
insane.
Those were absolutely fight-turning, game-breaking ults. It's like Void Prison that is just kind of ridiculous. Yeah. I will nominate every Maw in Game 3.
Yeah, those
Well-
Maws felt good.
So you do like Zag.
You skipped Captain Wedge going.
Yeah,
into
I know.
Vertical.
Per this
How does-
Discord chat channel,
Captain is last.
he
It's always
is
the case.
Okay.
He's first
I'm lowest
alphabetical 'cause he
priority.
got C.
No. Well, see, Wedge, you're doing it wrong. You're the captain. You take control and you own it. Put everybody else down until they bend to your iron will.
About
Alright,
that.
alright, Ace.
So I'll go. It's probably one of the Maiev plays on game number 1 or game number 2. There was the time where we were fighting over the top right tribute on our side, and we kind of got off to a poor start in the fight. I came over the wall, fanned a whole bunch of heroes, and killed the Junkrat. Almost got the Brightwing. Had somebody else occupied back there. Escaped, came back in, caused more mayhem, walked out again. And the reaction was, I thought you died 30 seconds ago. And so, although we ended up losing that fight, I was really happy because it mitigated a huge amount of damage that we could have taken. And that's really valuable. And of course, I have to think about the final kill on ETC in the bot lane. That was pretty much set up. We know from scouting very directly that ETC plays very aggressively, and it served them so well this season. And we were ready to play the counter engage all day, and so I was able to pull Port out, get a bunch of damage with the team, and then hit the fan while he was sleeping in the center of the cage.
It was
To
very
finish a
close.
kill.
I thought he was gonna just barely survive because there was a good 3 seconds or so where no damage was coming at him and he was no health. I was like, oh no, he better not live. And then when you got that, I was like, uh-oh, death mosh. But managing to play around that was really huge for you guys to get that final cleanup at the end.
Yep, that was I can happily say that play was the starting point to us winning game 2. So yeah, that'll take top slot.
Alright, and yours, Wedge.
I'd say mine was just trusting my teammates. Like for that last play there on the eye, like Ace had that pull. It's like, okay, I'll throw Blessed Shield in there. Let's see what happens. Like to start that fight where we ultimately killed the cow. And then like what Ektar was saying earlier for his play there, we're like, okay, nope, we feel that way. Let's go for it. And then like it just worked out perfectly. Like it's.
Can I
think,
nominate for a play?
He's such a nice captain.
He is. He's so nice. Like I'm just so
don't
happy with the team. Wedge, I'm gonna nominate every falling sword out of a grav. That was actually crazy.
Oh, so you did notice. Okay, that's good to know.
I saw like 3 of them. I was in the thick of it. That was huge. I mean, I know we lost one of the fights, but I know we won like 2 other fights because of it. So we just got to walk out.
Letting you guys walk out definitely made a huge difference.
So I would call that your most impactful thing, and any one of those plays was fantastic. I'm going to brag on you if you won't.
No, that's fine. I've been doing this for 13 seasons. This is nothing at this point.
Alright,
Yeah.
and then the final question, I'm going to direct this at Wildcard because I feel like you haven't had a chance to talk as much. Now that you've finished the matches, is there any bans that you wish you could go back and change?
Probably not, because I don't think any of us wanted to deal with Cho Gall. So getting Cho and Gall on different, banned in different games felt really good. It was nice because when they took their Artanis into the game, I was really concerned about that, but the one game it was in, I didn't have to worry about lanes as much, holding a lane, so that part was nice. I don't know. And then our Anduin ban first game was really good, I found, so I would definitely want to change that, because the Garrosh would overextend with the speed, and then we would be able to kill him. But if they had the Anduin, it would pull them out, which we would not have liked. So I think our ban strategy was pretty solid for all of that, and a big part of that is due to Ektar, Ace, and Captain Wedge, because they do a lot of prep for these games, which has been real great.
Alrighty, we'll go through and do a quick round of shoutouts and wrap this up. Wedge, do you want to take this as captain?
Oh, goodness. Here I was thinking I was done for the night. Come on. Now, big shoutouts first of all to Heavy Hitters. Like, you can see how they were able to come out on top of a division playing like that. Like, they pushed the advantage to the absolute max. Like, that is something that they just seized the bull by the horns, and then they just go at it. And I'm very, very proud of my team for being able to handle that. But shout out to them for doing a really good job of representing B West well. Shout out you casters, of course. I understand you guys picked this up super last minute, and we couldn't be happier to have this match still end up being casted. That would have been a bit of a sad face moment. I'd also like to shout out Gokwe. He joined the team late in the season, just for helping for covering a couple matches, and he also hopped in to give us a little bit of coaching advice as we did a warm-up scrim. He always helps to make little differences here and there. And then, yeah, just shout out to Twitch chat, and of course to my amazing teammates here. This has been one hell of a ride. I couldn't have asked for a better team from a mental perspective, from a perspective of everyone getting along together, and turned into a 10-0 playoff run. How do you top that?
Yo, shout out to all of our friends. I know you shout out Twitch chat, but shout out especially to everyone who came out to support us. I saw a bunch of people from Jet Set Radio Future Speedrunning community, a couple of people from the Giant Grant Games community. Obviously, you guys picked this up last minute, but the rest of Gen M were around as well. Shout outs to Die for Vision, who helped us prep the other day and were supporting us before. So yeah, just shout out to everyone who supports us.
Who's it today? Heavy Slaps? Heavy Slaps.
Yeah, shout out to Heavy
literally
Slaps,
3
for literally
games before.
scrimming us before this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we stand on the shoulders of giants, and y'all are the giants and the grants in the games.
Wow, that flow, Ektar. Well done, sir.
I am
well
nothing if not
to
willing
sneak
to
that one
pander.
in.
Fox, do you have any shoutouts before we wrap things up?
Shoutouts. I was not prepared for this. Shout out to Majesty, great guy. Shout out to all of Durotans and NGS. You guys should have gone through with the ARAM map. Remember, 3 board members. You can rig it.
Can't let them know about our abuses of power.
Hey, look, I wouldn't have said anything.
We let you have your Garrosh games. Come on.
Yeah, but see, the trade didn't work because I didn't sit in core, so it wasn't equal. It doesn't count. Yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty, and with that, we're going to be wrapping up NGS Division B once again. Congratulations, Durotans Couch, for winning it all and getting into the Hall of Champions, I believe is what the page is called, I think, on the NGS website. Remember, you can support NGS on the Patreon page with ! Patreon, as well as you can see merch and buy merch. Please buy NGS merch. You can get it from the NGS announcement page in the Discord, or apparently, as we found out later,
off. !
20%
off right now.
store in the Twitch channel after sending you to the Discord the whole night. we want to
Majesty
thank.
couldn't find it on the website either.
Yeah, it's true because it's not on the actual NGS website.
Yeah, no, it is. It is, Majesty.
No, it's on Shopify.
No,
Shopify.
oh, yeah, but you go NGS Community Spotlight, NGS Storefront, and it takes you to the website.
Anyways, thank you NGS for playing this all. Thank you for allowing me to pick it up last minute. And thank you all for Twitch chat for coming out and watching. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time in the Nexus.